The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
Good morning, pop culture. We are live. It is Thursday, November the 8th, 2018. It's 7:51 in the morning, and it's time to start today's Good Morning Pop Culture. So there's no doubt you guys were aware of yesterday's clusterfuck of a show. Well, to be fair, the show was fine. What happened was there was a YouTube glitch, and we had, 200 thumbs up while 4 people watched. So it was a weird discrepancy in the view count, and the whole show just seemed a little bit off. But it had to be a YouTube error because everything's great. But on today's main topic, we're going to be talking about another odd YouTube situation, as well as a bunch of other really, really dumb entertainment choices. So this show has it all. We have crazy outrage, stupid crap people are being offended about from Nintendo, and Star Wars, because probably why you subscribe to this channel. And just when you thought there was nothing left to talk about, well, people still can't let go of The Force Awakens. So we have tons and tons to talk about this morning. I apologize that I'm a little late. I wanted to check the weather, and then I heard about this thing out in California, so I was like watching that and trying to get all the information before social media blows up and it turns into this and that. I just wanted to know, at least from a fairly reputable source, my local Fox affiliate, Box 19, no relation to the news, just to see what was going on. And, yeah. So that is why I'm a few minutes late. I apologize in advance. So, good morning to everyone here on the channel. We're doing well. We're almost to our 200 viewer mark. Well, not quite, 86, but I can't complain. That's more than we saw yesterday for 90% of the show. So, I'm getting ready to, after this, I'm going to work on a video about Ivan Ortega's edit, because that thing is catching fire, and I've been a friend of Ivan's, and I'm just trying to do my part to hopefully get him more traction. He doesn't really need my help at this point, but I still want to be like, hey, guys, for those who haven't checked it out, check out the Ivan Ortega edit, because there's a lot of people out there that subscribe to my channel that may not even watch the High Council or any of the other videos, so I want to check that out. I heard it's great. I'm excited for Ivan. He deserves all the success he's going to get. And then last night I stayed up and worked on Stealing Solo for quite a while, so that was a lot of fun too. That book will be to you in February. I will ship it out in February of 2019. And if you're in a different part of the world, and some of you are, it may take a little bit longer because of international shipping and all that fun stuff. But if you're here in the U.S., it usually takes about 4 days from when I ship it out. So you guys are going to love the book. I love the book. And again, I want to thank everyone who helped make the book possible. So yep, everyone's excited for Ivan. I'm excited for Ivan. Seriously. The guy does some really great stuff. Speaking of great stuff, I've been working on this big secret video. I got some more ideas worked out. I'm trying to get a few more guests locked in. So be prepared for that. It'll be the best Fandom Menace video ever. Andras Takas, excuse me for butchering that, it's early, but thank you very much for your super chat. How do you think Solo would have done if it were to come out the usual time, so a month from now? Would a few extra months have helped? Well, Andras, I think besides The Last Jedi just being in such a close proximity to Solo, a Star Wars story, definitely the fervor around that film was just negative. That hurt. And I don't think a lot of people liked Solo. Or, excuse me, a lot of people liked The Last Jedi, so they skipped that one, because not everyone knows that it's an anthology film. They say, Han Solo, he's Star Wars. I didn't like the last Star Wars. Isn't he dead? Too many questions pop up and arise, and it causes a little discrepancy. Cognitive dissonance, if you want to get serious. So no, I don't necessarily think that the film would have been a huge success had it opened in December, so about a month from now. what comes out in about a month? Aquaman, other stuff. Yeah, it still would have been people talking about The Last Jedi. And they still are, in much different ways. But Solo... The Avengers didn't kill Solo a Star Wars story. Deadpool didn't kill Solo a Star Wars story. The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, Ron Howard, all the drama. Another thing, too, all the reshoot drama. After we've lived through the Batman vs. Superman era and Justice League era with the reshoot drama and all the other hot garbage, people are reticent to go support a film with reshoots and this and that because you think of the DC films. You think of Batman and Superman, and a lot of people hate those movies, the new ones. So I think the phrase reshoot springs to mind that negative connotation. If you noticed yesterday when we talked about Shazam Captain Marvel, they just said something like additional photography or something like that. They used a different phrase instead of reshoots. Now, the article went out of its way to say, these are reshoots just like other DCEU films, blah, blah, blah. So I felt like the article over on Screen Rant was trying to throw Captain Marvel, the real one, Shazam, under the bus before the film came out. But they wouldn't dare do that to Brie Larson's Stinky Cheese Captain Marvel because of reasons, because of ideology, because if that movie fails, well, then the whole world melts. No, that's not how it works. But no, Andres, Solo would not have been a huge success in December. What would the hype and anticipation have been? It's funny you brought that up because they're still talking about Solo and his last name. They're trying to add validity. Oh, he's Solo against the Empire. He's this, he's that. No. Again, when you take these legacy characters and you try to mold them, any legacy character, this is part of my Culture War series that's coming down the pipe fairly soon. When you take these old characters and you try to re-envision them, you are already lost because these old characters don't need to be reimagined, re-envisioned. They've been around for decades. In Han Solo's case, he'd been out for 41 years. Only Harrison Ford, only in 3 movies, only remembered, 4 eventually, but only remembered a certain way. When you change something so basic yet intrinsic to his character, like his name, you turn people off. I mean, every news story that came out about Solo, a Star Wars story, was just shittier and shittier and shittier. And even people like Scott Mendelsohn acquiesced and thought, it's going to flop, it's this, it's that, whatever. And he tried to blame it on other things outside of the movie itself. Like I've said before, Disney either has power or nude photos of these people or something, but no one can say a bad thing about Disney. It's like, hey, I don't care that the world is burning. I personally welcome our corporate overlords. That's what I get when I read these shilly articles. So we don't have a lot of positivity going into this thing, but when you change his name was Han Solo. Well, no, it's just Han, and he's Solo, and that's how that kind of stuff is dumb because it adds a layer to the character that doesn't need. It's like a joke. He told the world's greatest joke, but then you added one more beat to it, and you're like, You see, the punchline was great. Everybody laughed. Everybody loved it. People acknowledged it as one of the greatest of all time. But you add your little bitty bump onto it, and it just doesn't work. And that is where that movie came from. It just didn't work. People say, oh, it was so great to see Darth Maul again. Was it, though? Was it? And how come these people didn't blow up online when Ray Park was made fun of for looking fat and terrible? Oh, because it doesn't fit the narrative. But we probably won't hear about it being Russian bots in the future. But we had to for Rose Tico. So, in a roundabout way, no. But they need to stop taking original characters and reimagining them. Lethal Weapon, the TV show. Willy Wonka. Knight Rider. Magnum P.I. Charlie's Angels. Just let these things from the past go. It's really easy to make new stuff, but it requires some originality and writers that don't drink the same shitty Starbucks drink and wear a scarf in California. Those kind of people, they can do what they want in their lives, but I don't think they're right for the job, and that is not soy bashing. That's my new phrase, soy bashing. That's not soy bashing. What that is that's being realistic. Just because we believe the same thing doesn't mean that you and I should have the same job. You shouldn't work with me. So we are 4 viewers away from our magical number of 200. It's getting excited. It's getting exciting. 2 more. Come on, TV. Give me some of that sweet, sweet pep. One more. And there we are. Okay, so let's start today's main topic. Now, I don't have a beautiful, gaudy image, but Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers yesterday sent me a tweet. One thing you guys got to understand is he's a good dude. He's got everybody's back. And after the High Council, I talked about how I wanted to live stream Red Dead Redemption because I had such a good time. I was having fun with it. The game is maybe a modern masterpiece. I did run into an issue, and I thought, this game pisses me off, so I'm going to stop playing it for a while so I can work on the stuff. But I heard about this channel, this big channel with almost 500,000 subscribers called Scirocco, just Scirocco, Scirocco King of Quality. It's a gaming channel. They have all kinds of long-form video game Let's Plays, Red Dead Redemption, Overkill, Gran Turismo, all sorts of games. Now, I got Red Dead because I thought it would be a fun change of pace. I like to build the community here on the channel. I like to do a lot of fun stuff. But apparently, yesterday, his channel was taken offline because his character in the game punched a female non-playable character, which was really, really bizarre. And it made me wonder just how easy it is to get someone's stuff taken down by a complaint. Oh, you did this in a video game. You're violent, you're this. No, you're not anything. You played a game. I think that if these companies, like YouTube, if that's going to run Rockstar ads and all these other things to promote the game, like PlayStation, well then you don't really have the ability to censor what's in the game and punish other people for what you are paid to advertise for. Now, I know his channel was brought back online, but Quartering did a video first. Actually, before the Quartering's video came out, Jeremy had sent me a tweet about it, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to sacrifice the channel for Red Dead Redemption. I love the game, but it's really not worth killing this channel for. But it made me wonder about the bigger picture, about the bigger implication. It's what is the end game here on the platform? You would think that everybody bringing in viewers, making money, YouTube takes a huge chunk of it. They're winning on each front. They're by winning, according to Charlie Sheen. But this was just too spicy for YouTube. Yeah, there it is. I said the title of the video. And that bothered me. Because where do we draw the line? When does the outrage offensive culture become, authoritarian law? Just because somebody on Twitter bitched about it doesn't make it a problem. It's a video game. Now, I don't advocate anybody punching a woman in the face or punching a dude or anything like that. I'm not for physical altercations and violence in real life. But if you're playing a video game, no one's hurt, and Rockstar allows you to do that. If Rockstar goes the Nintendo route, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, which pisses me off too, or they're going to censor the game to appease 1% of 0.0% of 0.0%, if they're going to go out of their way to alter their games and edit shit to appease these people so they can avoid these faux outrages, these faux rages, not only will I stop supporting them, I just won't get into the game community anymore, because where's the line? Where do you draw this stuff? I don't know where. We keep talking about the goalpost being moved. It's like, hey, touchdown. No, the goalpost is 20 yards that way. Shit, okay. Nope, now it's another 30. Now it's that. It just keeps getting more and more confusing. It's a maze. It's a labyrinth of what do you do? What is next? And I don't know. This Red Dead Redemption situation was just annoying and eye-opening at the same time. So I'm glad the guy got his channel. I'm glad he is back. I mean, 498,000 subscribers is incredible. I mean, I take pride with 76, essentially. I couldn't imagine 498 going on 500, then 1 million. We'll be there. That's why I'm going to play the long game and keep these things rolling. But it just makes me wonder, how do you guys feel about this? I get really angry when I hear these types of stories. No one was hurt. No one altered history. Get over it. It's a video game. You know what you can do? You cannot buy the game. But the fact that Rockstar shipped like 17 million copies already, and people are just going nuts for this game, I think the people that bitch online may use social media and give a thought and a prayer and a tweet and a like and a share, but the people who are not in that outrage culture, they go buy this shit. And that's why these games make the big dollars. That's why these movies make the big dollars. And that's why when you infect quality classic entertainment with this crap, it falls apart. It's like back in the day, there was this old WWF promo. Vince McMahon sat in a room and he talked about, I'm going to kill my creation. I'm going to kill what I love with a dose of poison from the NWO. It's like they're injecting this poison into... We had it great. Things were great. Technology is advanced. Everyone has access to shit. It's at a decent, affordable price. Life is good. But then you infect it. It's like a social experiment. Like, how far can we push it one way? Or how far can we take it that way? And it gets dumb. And that's where we are. We're in the stupidity phase. It's going to take massive commercial failures, consistent commercial failures, to offset this new support for outrage culture. For example, A Wrinkle in Time flopped, but Avengers, Black Panther made a bunch of money to cover all those losses. What needs to happen for these companies, anybody, movie, TV, video game, music, for these things to wake up is for this overly preachy one to fail. And then the big one to fail too, the blockbuster, the Star Wars. We had a Star Wars failure, but we need a sequel failure to really open their eyes. Because they're still hiding behind the whole Han Solo's a white male. That's why it didn't work. Nobody likes legacy characters. It's funny, we all love Han Solo, but the movie really wasn't his movie. It was Kira's movie. It was Darth Maul's movie. It was Woody Harrelson's movie. Everyone had more agency. Everyone had more to do than Han Solo, the namesake of the film. So we need to get all of this shit just out of our system. This outrage stuff just, it ruins the fun. The fun police, like I've called them before in the past. They're not SJWs, they're not N.P.Cs, they're the fun police. And they take away your fun. And here's the thing. You don't have to be quiet about it. Enough people reached out to help this Scirocco dude, and now he's back. But make sure when other channels that do the same thing, maybe they don't have 500,000 subscribers, but make sure that they get the same support and love too. You may not even have heard about them, but just the fact that a gameplay video from Red Dead Redemption, something that has been approved by Sony and Rockstar, who are advertisers on YouTube, it's like, let's say I drank a beer in a video, but then it gets shut down and the channel's demonetized because I drank we'll just say a Miller Lite, because I've seen Miller Lite ads on YouTube. That doesn't really work. That is a double standard that needs to be addressed. Either don't take ads from Rockstar and PlayStation and Xbox, which you would never do because that's millions of dollars in your pocket, but don't punish or penalize people because they're playing the game that you advertise for. It's like almost like, being punished for buying the product that you are selling. It's stupid. It's beyond stupid. The Pui, thank you very much. Morning, Jeff. Morning, The Pui. It's always good to see you, my friend. Folks, yes, Chano Cyber 9 Avila, it's bullshit. We have 272 viewers. Let's get 272 pounds on that muff button. Lick the muff button, pound it, hit it. Give it with that final melee smash. The show is just starting, and we got to get those likes up. Cineverf653, thank you very much. It's a video game, an escape from reality. No one is getting hurt in real life. It's fine. Dude, I'm with you right there. It is an escape from reality, and no one is getting hurt in real life, but it just becomes annoying. It's like you can't do anything because this platform is going to snip your balls off. It's like, oh, you did this. Done. What? Where is it said? These vague rules just don't really work for anybody. It gets to a point where it's like, Jesus. And the thing is, I see people talking about outrage on both sides. If you just acquiesce and roll over and let people bitch and then get penalized for doing nothing, that's the problem, because you accept it. You got to fight for your rights. Not your right to party, because the Beastie Boys already did that for us. But you got to make sure that these things just don't go unnoticed, because it's so dumb. I mean, we can definitely argue that, oh, don't do this to Star Wars, don't ruin the characters, don't do that, but don't ruin somebody's life at the same point. Entertainment is in a weird place. And I don't mean like weird as in trippy and experimental, like weird as in bad. Like, why the hell are we here? That's all I can say. But yeah, Cinevereth653, I think it's fine. I don't really find it, my game, like I accidentally killed my horse yesterday, and I was kind of sad for a minute. I was like, man, I really leveled up that horse. I was growing attached to it. That thing would always come to me instantly. And now I have a different horse. I just don't like it as much. The horse is shitty. But, you know, I'm not going to go ride my horse in front of a train. I did it in the video game by mistake because I pressed triangle too many times. But that would be tantamount to accusing me of animal abuse because I accidentally, you know, killed my horse. Or, for example, I went bear hunting without a license or something. In today's world, that'd be a different issue. But in this digital world, it's a non-issue. I'm sitting in an office. No one's being hurt. This isn't the real world. I spent my money on a product, and I should be able to enjoy it and use all the features of this PlayStation without any ramifications. Because it's put on there. It's approved by YouTube. They allow these things. These games are cool. That shit ain't AO. If it's AO, they need to take out the streaming function. But until then, stop. Stop. I didn't know the new Nutcracker movie was a failure. I have to look into it. Let's see. Cesario Japan, thank you very, very much for generous super chat. Scirocco got deplatformed by Vice's motherboard with an article. Cue the NPCs reporting and a rogue employee shut down the channel. Glad the gaming community got involved and called out the BS. I didn't realize it was a rogue employee that shut down the channel. I mean, the information, the news, we know how it happened, but that doesn't make it acceptable or good. And you can always be thankful that the community rallied around everybody. That is a good, reassuring thing. You know, the Fandom Menace is a good, strong community, and the gaming community is strong. Like I said yesterday in our Diablo discussion, you don't really mess with the gaming community. That is not the group of people to screw with. It's a big community, obviously tons of people, but they will make the time. If they're dedicated to something, they get attached to it. They will make sure that you can't take it away from them. I mean, if you were to, for example, enough people complained online about the lack of historical accuracy with Battlefield 5. Like, doesn't that come out next week and nobody's talking about it? We're still talking about Red Dead Redemption. They'll say, oh, we moved it because we want to be able to compete with Red Dead, but you're not. And then Call of Duty comes out. Battlefield is a lost cause. That is a $39 game, you know, by Christmas or something. People just aren't going to buy into that one hook, line, and sinker. It'll have some fans, because nothing sells 0 copies. It'll have some fans, but it won't be the hit. And just, you know, going out of your way to antagonize your paying customers just never works. That must be the new cool thing to do in the tech world and the entertainment world. Oh, you know, they get together and they think, what can we do to piss off our fan base? They'll use it under the guise of how are we going to expand our brand and how are we going to reach new audiences. But I don't really think you need to worry about that as much as you need to worry about making a good game. Because let's say, we'll use my friend Phil for an example. Phil's a hardcore gamer. If you put out good games, he'll buy different genres. He'll buy Battlefront, he'll buy Battlefield, he'll buy this, he'll buy that. If you start to alter it and make it stupid and take out the quality gameplay and add in bad rhetoric, then he's like, no. So then he takes your game off of his list and goes somewhere else. It's just a dumb world we live in right now. It's a dumb world we live in right now. So for a moment, let's talk about a couple things that aren't dumb. First off, this episode of Good Morning Pop Culture is brought to you by T. Allen Diaz's Lunatic City series. Take a walk. Sorry. That is, take a walk on the wild side. I'm trying to memorize these. But T. Allen Diaz's Lunatic City series, down in the link, as well as the Galaxy Ascendant series by Yakov Merkin. And you're going to be hearing from our friend Yakov Merkin this weekend during our military live stream. So, folks, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the channel. If you've reached out to me and I've responded, you're on. If you've reached out and I've yet to respond, I will get back with you today. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We can talk about whatever you guys want in the entertainment world. I'll only have a few questions, and we'll let this thing go naturally and organically. Mr. V, can you summarize your thoughts on The Force Awakens? It stinks, and I don't like it. If you can tell me what movie that's from, high five. Mr. V, though, with your super chat, thank you very much. The NPCs aren't able to have fun, so they have to destroy it for the rest of us. Misery likes company. P.S. Did you get the mail, Jeff? Mr. V, I have not checked the P.O. box yet. I will go... Maybe I'll go today. I'm kind of sidetracked. But I do need to go and check that. And once I get stuff, I will make a video about it. Or we'll talk about it on Good Morning Pop Culture. But everyone will see what was sent in. And everyone will get their thank you because I appreciate that. The P.O. Box is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what comes in the mail. It gives you guys more access to us because we are, you know, based in different parts of the country. And a lot of our listeners are in different parts of the world. We have some Filipino listeners, some European listeners. So cool. It's just a way to help everyone else reach us and access us. Well, don't be too tempted to get a Switch just to play Smash Brothers, because let me talk about something that really pissed me off. So Smash Bros Ultimate. I'll just show you guys an image of this to give you something to look at. So here is some bullshit. No thanks. I'll keep my ad blocker on, Eurogamer. You're not innocent in any of this. So let's have a good laugh. Or maybe an eye roll. You guys can tell me your thoughts on this. Nintendo to remove Native American references in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This does not represent our company values today. So now Mr. Game & Watch is offensive. Nintendo has pledged it will make changes to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate after an outcry surrounding Native American character designs in the game. The designs center on Mr. Game & Watch, a retro-themed character from Nintendo's old LCD game handhelds. One of the character's moveset references Fire Attack, a 1982 cowboy game where you defend a wooden fort from screaming Native Americans wielding burning torches and wore feathers in their hair. The same design can be seen in separate spirit characters within the game. Nintendo previously edited Fire Attack when it was re-released on Game Boy as part of the compilation title Game & Watch Gallery 4. The feather was removed, the Native American character's hair, something Nintendo will now also do in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Nintendo has been planning to distribute an update for Smash Bros. Ultimate that removes feather from the silhouette of Mr. Game & Watch, Nintendo spokesperson told Eurogamer today. The original game, on which this is a depiction of the character is based, was released more than 3 decades ago and does not represent the values of our company today. We sincerely apologize, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so there's more video game outrage right now. Now, this one's a little... Oh, the email. No, I haven't checked the email yet, Mr. V. I haven't checked it out. Alpha Tyranima, thank you very much for your super chat. Where were they when they ruined Turok? Quiet, quiet, quiet. Because Turok isn't going to make a bunch of money. See, the big successful things that make money, people always try to lump controversy on to bring down and tear down the successful things. It's easy to glom on because you want to elevate yourself. You want the popularity. You want the fame. But you're not that good. So what do you do to get it? To get your cause out there? You bitch and complain about the biggest thing. Smash Bros. Ultimate is going to be one of the biggest games of the year. I mean, it's not going to outdo Red Dead Redemption. That's a multi-console game. It's already the biggest thing of all time. Smash Bros. Will be a hit. A lot of people will buy the system for it. I got a little Switch sitting here. I'm going to play the game eventually. But it was, I guess it's now cool to be outraged. I don't follow sports teams. I don't know about what they're doing with the Cleveland Indians or anything like that. I know the one thing I did hear this year is that when the Cleveland Indians went to play in Canada, they wore a different uniform or something like that. It's not to offend the sensible Canadians. I mean, they're all high anyway, so who gives a shit? Now, I'm pretty sure that this was different in the American release anyway, but Nintendo made a valid point. This is something that was released 30 years ago. And if anyone were to get mad, I don't usually go to defend a big company because they're a billion-dollar company. They can kiss my ass. But Nintendo really has done nothing wrong in this case. This is just an old character that they dug up because they're trying to make it accurate to what came before. So unless these crazy fun police people can go back in time and make sure that Mr. Game & Watch from Fire Attack 4 isn't offensive, well, then I don't really think there's much you can or should do. It's just a reflection. I don't think this is actually a negative stereotype being promoted. Look at Peter Pan. You know what? If Nintendo takes this out, then Disney needs to remake Peter Pan, the animated one, and reanimate all the Indians and all the Redskin out of there because that's offensive. See, when one place does it, or one place does one thing, they're held accountable for a different thing. There's no level that everyone's being held to the same. So this is just annoying to me. Not because I like stereotypes of Native Americans or Indians or whatever they want to phrase it in the article. I don't, I guess the only one that I enjoy would be like a John Redcorn from King of the Hill. And he's actually not a bad character. He's a fleshed out character with depth. He lost his land. His son's being raised by somebody else. There's a lot more going on in King of the Hill than people want to give it credit for. I talked about that yesterday. So, folks, when I talk about certain topics, make sure you go back and listen to each day's Good Morning Pop Culture as you can at your convenience. I understand there are time holes, but I do the show for the hundreds and hundreds of people that show up every morning. And I do other videos too, like the Ryan Johnson is too stupid for Star Wars. I had a lot of people reach out and tell me they enjoyed that on my personal Facebook page, which was nice to hear. I even heard from Anna, that Star Wars girl. So let's see what people are saying about this. Demogeny, annoying. I am of Native American descent. Mr. Game & Watch is fine. Yeah, I am too, and I don't care about this stuff. I don't really talk about that on air, but Demogeny, it's a video game that is not promoting anything, not saying anything bad about Native Americans at all. It's Nintendo. It's a 3-second move. I hate Mr. Game & Watch because he's shitty to play. You know what they should do? They should censor the one where he's flipping the sausages because it looks like he's cooking little dicks or something. Why not just get rid of the character? He's a completely black character. He's a silhouette. He's offensive. You see how stupid these people sound, how dumb it sounds when I say it too? It gets out of hand. It's gotten out of hand. Hugely out of hand. Cesare Japan, thank you very much. How pathetic to be outraged over 2 frames of pixels. Don't worry, Albedo. I saw your message. I'm going to respond to your super chat in just a moment. Yeah, it is pathetic to be outraged by this shit. It's an E for everyone game or a T for teen game that kids are going to play. It's Smash Brothers. It's not... When Link hits you with a sword, there's no blood. This isn't, Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess, where it's pretty dark or grim. Hell, even Ocarina of Time, he stabbed Ganon in the face at the end and blood shot out. So, it's not really... Look, just because these games have action in it, doesn't mean they're violent. I wouldn't call Smash Brothers a violent game. Red Dead, violent game. Smash Brothers, give it to a kid to play. It's just a fun time. So our friend Albedo sent in a super chat that says, they're rebooting the Shrek franchise. Thoughts? Yes, I do have thoughts. I saw this yesterday. Fuck it. It's so dumb. Why not? Actually, my honest answer is, why the hell would you reboot Shrek? I don't love any of them besides the first Shrek, but everyone that's in Shrek is alive. Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, Antonio Banderas, John Lithgow. They're all alive and okay. Why would you reboot it? Shrek is maybe not my favorite character, but he's a big cultural icon. Those movies made billions of dollars. They caught on. People know the voice. People love the character. Why the fuck would you reboot Shrek? I could understand making another Shrek or retconning Shrek or something, but a reboot? An origin story? Something? That's dumb. Look, it's like Disney said, oh, we're going to reboot Pirates of the Caribbean that came out in 2003. And then DreamWorks is like, hold my beer. I'm going to reboot Shrek. So I'm waiting for them to reboot. You know what? Folks, I just got word from our friend Mike Zero. Star Wars content from the future. This isn't Star Wars content. This is from the future, though. They're actually rebooting Captain Marvel. Yes, this new one's coming out, but they already have a reboot in the works. So you heard it here first, folks. Captain Marvel reboot, 2021. Mark my words. But Shrek, seriously? Shrek. Don't give me this bullshit about a remaking of Shrek. That is, there's no purpose to remaking Shrek. It's kind of irrelevant. Pull a Toy Story approach. There's a 4th Toy Story coming out. It'll be, 8 years after the last one came out. And the other one was 11 years between that. And Toy Story's been out for, 23 years? And they've had coming up on 4 movies. Pull that approach. Don't make these movies every year like they were doing Shrek. There's Shrek 2, 3, forever. There are too many Shrek movies. Some of them suck. But a reboot, not this. It's too damn early. It is too damn early. Yes, being offended by a children's game is the epitome of 2018. I think, you know what we should do here on the channel? We're going to do a dumbest offensive news story of the year. Where basically what you guys do is we'll make a poll and we'll do an awards for the dumbest news stories of the year in the entertainment world. Could it be Smilegate from Brie Larson, or the Russian bots from Rian Johnson, the Smash Brothers story, the Shrek reboot? Who knows? You guys can determine what the most stupid news story of the year is. We'll do that on our end of the year episode in December. Just remind me to do that. It'll be a fun little way, and we'll give out awards and shit like that. We'll find out if Nintendo has a P.O. box, and we'll send them their bullshitty award. So here's some sad news that probably doesn't really affect anyone here. It is entertainment related. I am kind of bothered by this because I thought these other two movies were damn good, and I'll even go out of my way to say that the second film was good. A lot of people don't want to say that. And that's fine. You don't have to agree with me on everything. The fact that you're here is good enough for me. So do me a favor, folks. Take a look at your screen in just a moment. Corporate accounts. Okay, so here we go. Tell me who this is on the screen. I'll give you 3, 2, 1. So, for those listening in the audio portion of the show, and a lot of people do listen to the audio portion, this is Eggsy from Kingsman. A surprisingly great character out of the last couple of years. Maybe not the world's greatest spy, but a fun character, fun franchise. And today, we have found out from IGN that Kingsman 3, Taron Egerton reveals he won't be back as Eggsy. That doesn't mean I won't be back in Kingsman ever again, but he won't be in number 3. So in an interview with Yahoo Movies, Egerton broke the news while discussing his upcoming film Robin Hood. The reason Eggsy may not be in the third film appears to be a narrative choice of the director Matthew Vaughn is taking. Currently, it's not known if other main characters and actors from the previous 2 entries will be absent from the film. I'm not in the next Kingsman, said Egerton. Why? When asked why, he responded, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you. That doesn't mean I won't be a Kingsman ever again. I was with Matthew as little as a few days ago and spoke to him. We're still very much in business together. It's just that his next journey in the universe doesn't involve me, which I think is sacrilege, he added jokingly. So I'm guessing that they're going to have a female agent be the lead in Kingsman to prove a point. That's what I'm thinking they're going to do. Observer Dude, thank you very, very much for generous super chat. Luke said to Leia in Return of the Jedi, you have that power too, and in time you'll learn to use it as I have. Wasn't that a hint what Episode 7 would be about, seeing Leia become a Jedi Knight? Well, Observer Dude, it was. But let's jump back one movie to Empire Strikes Back to squash it, if you will. When Yoda goes, no, there is another, it was never meant to be strictly Princess Leia. There's an interview with Lucas, you guys just got to find it, where he says, I had that in there so the audience would think that Luke could fail. That's it. Yeah, I could see maybe people would think that, but the EU that existed before, which they wiped out stupidly, wasn't about Princess Leia becoming a Jedi Knight. And the gap between Episode 6 and 7, I mean, would you really want to watch a 55-year-old woman trained to be a Jedi Knight? Unless you're going to have a sweet montage. I don't see how that would entertain people. Now, they said, hold my beer. Again, that joke is used today. And they gave us Rey, who has no training, but beats the villain, and is undeserving of anything because she didn't achieve it. I always thought of Leia having the Force, like being Force sensitive, but never training. You know, leaving that for the kids. She was involved with politics, and she was a good shot, and used the Force in other ways. Maybe she took. Then again, though, too, that line, Observer Dude, could mean absolutely nothing. Because remember when Luke goes, "Do you remember your mother, your real mother?" Only images. So sad. Blah blah blah. I was very young. How the fuck are you gonna remember when you were born? That's some bullshit right there. So there are a lot of inconsistencies, even through the Lucas movies, that if you read too deeply... Look, I love Star Wars, but if you read too deeply into everything, all the parts of the lore, there are just logical gaps and plot holes. Certain things don't make sense. Certain things are weird, like the whole siblings thing. When you go that route for Star Wars and you try to analytically break down everything, it doesn't work. Very few movies can be analyzed on that level of scrutiny and still hold up. Trying to think. I have a Back to the Future DeLorean sitting next to me. I think Back to the Future is a more consistent trilogy than Star Wars. And you're thinking, but Jeff, there's a different actress that plays Jennifer. Oh yeah, I get that. But other than that, it's pretty... Put it like this. It's a seaworthy ship. It may not be 100% watertight, but I can use it to cross the river to go to the airport. But I wouldn't have liked to have seen Leia as a Jedi. Everyone a Jedi, a Jedi, a Jedi. It's Return of the Jedi. Yep, Jedi's plural. But I like to think of it as Anakin returns, dies, and then Luke is the next generation of Jedi, off to train the next generation. I mean, Leia has political pull. Who's going to run the Senate? Well, the Senate's been dissolved by the Emperor in the first film. I get that. But who's going to help control the rebellion and do this stuff? We've seen her in leadership roles in the old films. Remember, she gave the briefing on Hoth right before they went off to fight. Fine. We saw Mon Mothma was in charge of the rebellion at the end of Return of the Jedi. I always assumed, and this could be wrong, but you guys tell me what you thought was going to happen. I thought that they would clean up the remnants of the Empire. Leia would be in politics. Han would kind of do his strike force missions, help clean up, do what he does. And Luke's off becoming a Jedi, a better Jedi, searching the galaxy for the Jedi journals or this or that, or training or finding force-sensitive people across the galaxy to create a new Jedi Order. Isn't that a book? But I never once thought Leia would be at home training. Maybe she could communicate with Luke through the Force, or, use it to help her guide a blaster bolt or something, but never as a Jedi. But that's just me, Observer Dude. That's just me. And yes, Kingsman is more James Bond than James Bond. I fucking loved Kingsman too, especially the opening with the Prince song. It was fun. Guys, do you remember fun in movies? I vaguely remember fun, but it's there when you look for it. And don't always listen to the critics. I bet you Venom's fun. Stupid fun. I didn't see it, but I bet you there's some fun there. Maybe I'm missing out. Halloween was not fun. It was an exercise in bullshit, and it was the Force Awakens of horror movies. Eddie Max of Andor, thank you very, very much. Being an 80s kid, I'm very excited about Creed 2. How about y'all? I technically was born in the 80s, 1988. I grew up liking Rocky movies. I like the concept of Creed. I don't dislike... I'm not a Michael B. Jordan fan, but he was good as Killmonger because he died, honestly. That's why I liked it. But I've seen the trailer for Creed 2. Like I said on other videos, when you can get in that kind of shape for a movie, I got nothing but respect for you because I know how hard that shit is. That's dedication. And it's exciting to see old characters be continued in a logical way. Like Rocky had cancer and all this other stuff. So I can't say I'm very excited for the movie. I'm happy it exists, and I really want to watch the first one. I just haven't sat down. I own a copy. I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it. But those are the things that I'm fine with. Because they didn't reboot Rocky. They didn't make Rocky a black guy. They didn't make Rocky gay or whatever. What they did is Rocky's Rocky. He's still alive and kicking. But Creed's son continues it on, and that way you can have a boxer movie about a black guy with Felicia Rashad and all this shit. That's how you can do it. You take what exists in the world and you continue, because no one bitches about SJW politics and Creed. It's not about this nonsense. Apollo Creed was in the first Rocky, and he's a great character. I hate when he dies in number 4. It's so sad. I just like Carl Weathers in general. He's a good actor. I really like the dude. But it makes more sense. I think that's why Creed has such a goodwill from the core fan base as well as this crazy whatever fan base too. Because they're like, oh, a movie with a black lead and this and that. Yeah, it makes sense because he's the son of a character that existed in a film from 1975. Yeah, Rocky 76. Yeah, Rocky 76. Jaws is 75. I think Rocky's 76. Somebody will tell me in the chat in a moment. But that's how I feel. I'm glad it exists. I'm not waiting to go see it right away, but I will watch it eventually. And I something about Rocky movies and Bruce Lee flicks that really get me pumped. there's an old Eddie Murphy skit. I'm not going to start to try to quote it because I'm not as skilled as Eddie Murphy used to be. I'm about as good as Eddie Murphy is now. I'll give myself that much credit. But 1980s Eddie Murphy, nobody did it better. But the point I want to make is go listen to that skit where he talks about how people come out of the Rocky movie and they're all, pumped up and they're going to try to start fights in the lobby of the movie theater. It's great. It's so great. Let's see who else we had. We had a few more super chats rolling. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. Demogenai says, in the EU, she only trained after her tenure in government. Okay. That's in terms of Princess Leia training to be a Jedi. A Jedi. Have you guys ever watched Robot Chicken Star Wars? You've been attacked by a Jedi? And it's the insurance commercial. That's pretty funny to me. I guess what you got to do to keep the stories alive are fine. It is funny, though, is even though he's my favorite Star Wars character, Han Solo does at one point become redundant. It's like he's the pilot to the Death Star. He doesn't become redundant in the films. But after everyone's like training off to be a Jedi, all he can do is be a military man. But if you look at it from that point, I guess he's not redundant. Because you go from he was in the military to a life of crime back to the military. And the military, we'll talk about this on Saturday, it's a regimented lifestyle, and you do your job and you rest and you do your job and you rest and you do your job. So I guess maybe he isn't redundant. Maybe he's the most realistic character. He's not out trying to be a space wizard. He's just, doing the dirty work of the galaxy. Love of Knowledge, thank you very, very much. Today's guilty confession, I like the A-Team movie. Well, Love of Knowledge, I don't dislike the A-Team movie. Now, I saw it, was it 2010 when it came out? 2011? I saw it when it first hit DVD. Yes, DVD, because I was at somebody else's house who never accepted Blu-ray. But I was over at someone's house, and I saw it, and it was okay. I guess you feel about the A-Team the way I feel about Justice League. A-Team wasn't offensively bad. You didn't really need to remake the A-Team, but it was self-aware, and the casting was right. What was his name? Rampage Jackson is Mr. T. Obviously, he doesn't have the charisma for it like Mr. T does, but he wasn't bad. And the scene with the tank from the airplane was pretty cool. So, Love of Knowledge, that's your guilty confession for today. I'm looking forward to the next one. I want to see how crazy these can get. I love guilty confessions. I'm trying to think of a guilty confession. Oh, here's a guilty confession from me. I thought Fantastic Four 2 was cool when I first saw it. I don't feel that way anymore, but back then I was like, man, this movie's cool. That and Spider-Man 3, 2007, great superhero movies. Oh, God. 2018 Jeff would really want to punch 2007 Jeff. Todd Rector, thank you very much for your super chat. What Batman 89 figure would you recommend? Well, Todd Rector, if price is no object, go for the Hot Toys, but that's like $500. So if you're willing to drop $500 on a Michael Keaton Hot Toys Batman, well, then you go do that. I'm going to show you guys. I could type Michael Keaton Batman Hot Toys. This is the one I have. I got it as a Christmas gift in 2012. It's $500 now. It wasn't. It was $229 when it came out. But yeah, I recommend you guys, or Todd Rector, if you want one, go for this one right here. It's easy to find. If you're going to drop the bucks, you're going to love it. It's really great. I got to dust mine off. Literally dusted. I think I'm going to put him back in the shipping container. I don't want anything to happen to it. But there you go, Todd Rector. That is my recommendation for you. Michael Keaton Batman from Hot Toys. It is the best. The best. By the way, I see a lot of people are talking about Star Trek in the chat. Doomcock will be on tonight's World Class Bullshitters. This weekend is Dion's birthday. He's out of town, so he will not be on the show, which is fine. It's your birthday, man. I don't expect... The guys and I work really hard for the stuff, the show. But when it comes to a birthday or something or a family event, go take care of your life. I'm the one that'll put my shit on hold to do the show. I don't expect them to. So tonight, be prepared for Doomcock and Star Trek and all kinds of fun stuff. Have your questions ready for Doomcock. We love to hail Doomcock. We always will. But he is a really smart, insightful dude. He's got a ton of stuff to talk about. So it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. We have Doomcock, Kendo, Nick. We're going to be talking about all the hot button issues and entertainment tonight. And I'll see if Doomcock can even join us for World Class Bullshitters after hours. I can't promise anything, but I'm going to do my best. So patrons who have been out there, thank you for supporting us. I just want to let you guys know, if you're listening, there will be, this week, we usually record on Wednesday, but Kendo had to work because we're trying to get everyone's schedule open for Sunday night, where we record our super bonus episode 150 for everyone out there. So that is why we weren't able to do our Wednesday recording and put that up this morning. So you'll get After Hours tonight, as always, and then we'll record episode 150, and then we're going to start pumping out more content on that front as well. Just, people's schedules had to open up a little bit. So, yeah, Dr. Coffin Nails, they finally got the bat symbol on his chest right, because they would always put that generic one on all the toys back in the day, but they got this weird one. I have this thing. It is incredible. If you can actually pop open the back of the skull and move his eyes. There's like a little joystick, and he's got multiple mouths. They just like pop off and they're magnetic. It is a damn fine it's a damn fine toy. I suggest, if you can afford it, to pick one up, because they don't make them anymore. And the one from Batman Returns isn't as good. So there you go, Todd Rector. There is your answer, my friend. If you guys need any help on collecting, you just come to me. I know what I'm talking about. So let's see. Speaking of talking about, what are we going to talk about next? We talked about the Han Solo thing being stupid. I'm not open to changing the legacy, the lineage of a character. I don't like it at all. So we'll stick with Star Wars for just a moment. So Star Wars Rey's Force Awakens visions hit another Jedi temple. So somebody earlier said, I think it was Kenny Powers in the chat, who said, this video game outrage is the most 2018 story of the year. Well, this is the most new millennium type of article, because it's trying to make sense out of things that were never intended to make sense. When you look into certain old films, there's layers. Like, I've never seen Citizen Kane, but people say, oh, this represents this and that. Okay, fine. But you reach a point where you've exhausted all the possibilities of what things could represent. Then we're here in 2018 talking about a movie from 2015, a 3-second flash. Look, guys, article writer, people out there that love The Force Awakens, first off, you're wrong. It's terrible. And yeah, I'm just being that guy right now. But in all seriousness, this trilogy had no overarching ideas, no plans. It was the most poorly laid out trilogy in the history of film. And you're thinking, Jeff, that sounds kind of harsh, but I'm not wrong. What other trilogy feels so disjointed? Oh, just because Luke Skywalker is in the same location that the other film ended in doesn't mean the movie's tied together. Everything else doesn't work. That means this movie takes place like the day after the previous film, and everything just happens over the course of like 4 days, therefore nullifying the achievements of the characters, because they don't achieve anything. It's just like, oh, I got home from work and now I'm sitting in traffic. That's what The Last Jedi is, sitting home in traffic, the equivalency of that. But they're still trying to talk about Rey's Force vision. Oh, Maz Kanata, that's a story for another time. No, it ain't, because the other time happened and you're fucking flying around on a jetpack and a hologram. Whoop-de-doo, that's awesome. That's what I paid money to see. An orange anus flying around in a jetpack. Does anyone genuinely enjoy Maz Kanata? I mean, be honest. If you do, I'm not going to chastise you. But she's Kmart Yoda. And now that we have Yoda back in Star Wars, even he feels like Kmart Yoda. The funny thing is, they can show you the characters on screen. They can reimagine the puppet and do all these things, but they can't capture the spirit. Even Darth Vader, while he looked cool in Rogue One, the voice was off. The joke was off. They can't, there's nobody, maybe Chewbacca and R2-D2 are the two characters that they got right in these new Disney Star Wars era films. Or Disney era Star Wars films, excuse me. Chewbacca, you can't tell. They use the same voices. The mask is right. There's really no complaints. R2-D2, you can't fuck it up. C-3PO is a little bigger because, Anthony Daniels is older. And he randomly had a red arm. Don't get me started on that fucking red arm. That is the biggest plot hole to sell toys ever. Ever. Astorath, thank you very much. Jeff, Empire's lightsaber duel is the best in the property. Change my mind. Astorath, I don't want to change your mind, though, because that's the thing. I think it's the best lightsaber duel in the property as well. Since you brought up lightsaber duels, I guess we're going to have to go there for a minute. Oh, heaven forbid. Talk about something fun on the channel. The lightsaber duels are not about the pizzazz, the flips, all this shit. The lightsaber duels are the physical embodiment of the internal conflict in Star Wars. They understood that. That's why the lightsabers were used so sparingly as well, because they were, when the lightsaber came out, you knew shit was about to go down. Like in the first movie, Darth Vader isn't revealed to have a lightsaber until the end of the movie. Right? Yeah. He doesn't pull it out or do anything in that movie. He just chokes you. He chokes you this and that. So then, when Obi-Wan, who is known, shows Luke to have a lightsaber, Obi-Wan pulls his out, Vader pulls his out, and they fight. And you're like, okay, that's kind of cool. And the fight was about, we meet again at last. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. Only a master of evil, Darth. And then they fight. Maybe it's not the most perfectly choreographed fight, but it's about a master and an apprentice coming back together to fight. And there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to jump over your Empire one for just a moment, too. Vader and Luke at the end of Return of the Jedi. Look at how hesitant Luke is to fight Darth Vader. It's not about flips and jumps and all this crazy shit. I will not fight you, Father. If you will not join us, then you will die. All this stuff. The eternal optimist Luke Skywalker. And I'm not getting these from marketing blurbs, Ryan Johnson. I'm getting these from the movie itself, the thing that you didn't watch. You can say, oh, I watched Star Wars. Well, watch it again, motherfucker. Watch it again. Understand what you missed. What you missed was a lot. But when you get to the Empire Strikes Back one, which I do think Astrath is the best lightsaber duel, it has a couple different layers of what's going on in it. First off, it's Luke in his first duel versus Vader. So it's good versus evil. That's neat. That's the most basic thing it is. Then, the more you watch it, you learn Darth Vader's toying with Luke. Luke is trying so hard, and at times he almost reaches greatness, but he's not skilled and honed in enough. So Vader just toys with him, and eventually he disarms him, literally. But there's so much going on, and I just love how it elevates, and it changes location, too. Like the other two lightsaber duels, the one's in a hallway, and the other one in Return of the Jedi is in a throne room for the Emperor to watch. When you get to the Empire Strikes Back one, it starts on the platform at the freezing chamber, then Luke jumps, he kicks Vader off after becoming a little more aggressive. Then Vader hides and Luke looks for him, and then Vader pops out from behind the wall, they fight, then Vader starts to use the Force and do all this shit to hit him with the boxes, and then eventually the window sucks out Luke and they fight on the catwalk, and there's just so much going on, and you can watch. The cool thing about that lightsaber duel, unlike the other ones, you see the visual damage on Luke. You see his suit get ripped and torn. He has blood. He's been hit, this and that. You watch him wear down. You don't see that in these other Star Wars lightsaber duels, any of them. Maybe in Episode 2, Obi-Wan gets a little cut on his arm. Or, if we want to go the ultimate route, Anakin does get burned alive and turned into a hot dog by the end of Episode 3's lightsaber duel. But those movies are like all about long, drawn-out, overly choreographed things. Empire's lightsaber duel Astorath is about emotion and story, and it's the physical embodiment of the conflict. So I don't have to have my mind changed. You and I were already on the same page, the same wavelength. Empire Strikes Back, best lightsaber duel. Maybe it's not my favorite Star Wars movie, but I understand why people consider it the best, because it is truly a great film. So it feels like a lot of people do not like Maz Kanata. Orange anus seems legit. Old anus eyes. Okay, so we're all on the same path. Excuse me, the same wavelength with Maz Kanata. I'm sorry that my phone keeps buzzing into the microphone, but I guess I'm in a comics chat with all these people? Okay, well. That is something I'll talk about later. Let me just mute this thing, because I got Good Morning Pop Culture to deal with. It's a good thing. So this Star Wars Rey Force Awakens vision, like, my biggest problem isn't the fact that the movie sucked. It's that we're still trying to harp on it and glean things out of it like it's important. It wasn't. It was a ploy to make a bunch of money. It worked. Let's go. So let's see what they're trying to say now. What's interesting is now that the rainy night scene in the Force Vision featuring the Knights of Ren, Kylo and his acolytes stand surrounded by dead bodies in the middle of a storm as lightning crackles. In one of these blasts, in the top right of the frame, a silhouette of a structure can be seen. It consists of a large center pillar and two thinner spikes on either side. Brightening the image gives you a sense of distance. It's far off in scale. It looms large, and you can see the image below. Okay, making sure this article wasn't from 2015. The immediate suggestion from the design of this structure is that it's somehow connected to the Jedi. Well, Star Wars explains how Vader can return in 9. No. It's weird. I know I'm stopping in the middle of this, but it makes me think. Do they, by trying to bring back Vader and talk about these things that we love from the original trilogy, do they think that's what the fans want? I think the fans can accept when a character dies, as long as the character dies in a good way and we move forward with the franchise. It's like they're stuck on the things that nobody really wants, but they think that's what we want, and they ignore when we actually talk. I mean, we're not getting outraged online and bitching. We're a very well-formed group of individuals. Like when I said, write your letter, be respectful, use your business sense, and people were getting responses back because you did it in the right manner. This, we can bring back this and that. Look, we talked about disjointed children before we got that really good super chat about the lightsaber duels. This whole thing with the Knights of Ren is from a trilogy that never can be. It's like you're watching, Halloween 2, 3, and 4. Michael Myers, something else, Michael Myers. It doesn't really make sense. Now, unlike Halloween 3, The Last Jedi is not an interesting film with cool concepts and ideas. Last Jedi is just garbage. But you took out the Knights of Ren. The thing is, even in The Force Awakens, they never made this guy look cool. It's like, what does Vader do? He kills people. He kills his own men. He, is just this badass, unstoppable force. He can pilot ships. He can do this. What does Kylo Ren do? He screams like a fucking child and he cuts up a computer. That's his badassness. That is so dumb. JJ, but he's conflicted on the inside. We'll learn more in the future. No. Nothing is guaranteed, not even tomorrow. Give me that story. If you watch the first movie of Star Wars, if there's not another movie, you got a whole complete story and Vader's cool. We don't wait, 3 years, 4 years, 9 years, a decade to see these characters play out. Their arcs need to take place in one movie to a degree. Like Luke has an overarching story coming from a farm boy to becoming a Jedi Knight. I get that's his overarching thing. But each movie has him accomplish something. First one, he goes from the farm boy to rebellion hero and pilot, but not a Jedi yet. Then he goes in Empire from training to be a Jedi to being defeated to learning his lesson, and then it will get resolved in the final one. They never built anything for resolution. That's the biggest problem. And yes, the Knights of Ren did have potential. They could have done all this cool stuff. We had never seen... back in the prequel era, it was always the rule of 2. A master and apprentice, no more, no less. Okay? The rule of 2 is kind of stupid, but I get it. So then we get to this new era where it's like, oh man, there's a fucking army of Sith Lords. What? Okay, that could be really cool, but it's not. It's a flashback, it's a dream, it's a nightmare, it's bullshit. It's something. It's something. Pagan God X, thank you very much. Old hero in hiding because of his creation. New hero looks for him. Old refuses to act until new hero is in trouble, then sacrifices himself to save everyone from his creation. The Last Jedi or Tron Legacy? You decide. Well, that is a good point to make. It's an embarrassing point to make, too, because they're both Disney films. It's like they didn't try to come up with something original. But Pagan God X, I thought Tron Legacy had some charming moments. Dare I say, really good moments. Visually, it was cool. People say, but The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi is visually cool. Not really. It borrows heavily from Empire and Jedi, so it's not original. Tron Legacy and Tron 1 came out, 36 years? No, it's not 36 years apart, is it? 82, 02, that's 20. Okay, so 28 years apart. Technology is massively different. The things that the things they did in Tron Legacy were never even able to be thought of in the original Tron. Now, I don't have the same emotional connection to Tron as I do Star Wars. That's very obvious. The only Tron thing I've ever owned is the Tron Legacy soundtrack, because that is a damn fine soundtrack. But when it comes to those comparisons, I definitely see that. And maybe people could use that as an example to prop up The Last Jedi or tear down Tron Legacy. That's fine. But at least Tron Legacy did something different and new and had something worthwhile. And interesting new characters, like Olivia Wilde's character. I liked her. Flynn's son was just okay, but he wasn't bad. Was it Gareth Hedlund or whatever his name is? He was in some movies for a minute. These people were, at the worst, they were just stereotypes cardboard cutouts, non-existent characters. They just existed. They were flat and cardboard. The people in Star Wars The Last Jedi were offensively bad. And by offensively, I don't keep saying it like, oh, I'm offended. I mean, they're so bad it hurts. Maybe I should rephrase that. Holdo, Rose Tico, DJ, what's his face, is Benicio del Toro's character. All these people were dumb. There's nobody that was even cardboard and just non-offensive. Everyone went out of their way or were made to be just annoying. Canto Bight made no sense. I mean, even if you look at Canto Bight and that bar from Tron Legacy, what Canto Bight have? A bunch of fat puppets and some stupid jokes. Tron Legacy at least kept it kind of serious, had some kick-ass music, and looked cool. I'm not saying Tron Legacy is this deep, artistic piece of filmmaking, but it's just, it's more disposable than The Last Jedi. And when Tron Legacy failed, that was it. We weren't bombarded with articles, hit pieces, thought pieces about, you need to feel bad about this and that, and oh, you're a sexist if you didn't love Olivia Wilde's character. It's like, what? I just, the character was whatever. But no, if it's not the Star Wars love, if you're not bending over literally to praise it, you're the problem. And that's where the Last Jedi problem stems from, beyond just being a bad film. But they are similar. There's no debating that, Pagan God X. And I need to get a copy of Tron Legacy and watch that film again to see how I feel about it 8 years later. It came out in December of 2011. Oh, it'd be 7 years. Or was it 2010? Yeah, it would have been 2010. I need to go back and I need to watch that and see how I feel all these years later. If I'm blown away by the spectacle, if I was just, young in college and drunk for a lot of it, or, there was some more depth. But I'm glad that this message was brought to us by the NWO. Your super chat was too sweet. Mareth Deoline, thank you. Just tuning in. This movie is nothing but neat. Just tuning in. This movie is nothing but neat. Bought a man who makes and sells sweets. His antics and drama and kids and their mamas. These two movies are quite the treat. I'm guessing you're going with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Mareth Deoline. Oh my God. I love Would anyone watch a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory stream here on the channel? It wouldn't be something that I would expect a ton of people to show up for. Maybe 75 of 75,000, which is embarrassing. But, you talk about feel-good movies. Some people want to watch Pay It Forward or all this other crap. Willy Wonka makes me feel good. It reminds me of being a kid. It was funny. When I was a little kid, my grandma bought me tons of videotapes, and that was one. We used to go to Kmart, and I almost said where the Kmart was. I was like, well, I don't want to say exactly where this Kmart was, but we used to go to this Kmart, and she would buy me a videotape, once a month. She was pretty cool about stuff like that. And Willy Wonka, I had never seen it. She goes, I think you might like this movie. So I picked it out, and my God, do I love Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I got it on DVD and VHS. I got to get a Blu-ray of it. But man, the Johnny Depp one was just fucking trash. And I don't dislike Johnny Depp, but I don't love him either. Kind of like Tim Burton. He's done stuff I really like, but overall, he's not in my favorites of anything. But Mareth Deoline, I also owe you another super chat message from yesterday, which I saved. I'm a man of my word. If anybody sends in a message as we go off air, I will screenshot it, and I will do that. By the way, our friend Superfan Adam Shawhan tried to tell me. Superfan Adam Shawhan was just a little earlier than you. So Mareth Deoline also says, a man in the hat saves a family from attack from giant ugly lizards. If you ask for a clue, it's not number 2, and people get eaten like gizzards. Okay, so giant lizards. I'm going to guess that is Jurassic Park, because was that Dr. Alan Grant is the man in the hat who saves people from attack from giant ugly lizards. Mareth Deoline, I love these, because they make me think. And I bet you're at home thinking about them too, like, how can I try to stump Jeff? And you've stumped me before. I'm not unstumpable. I'm not the unstumpable Jeff Hicks, the unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. That show sucks. But I think I got you on Jurassic Park. Let me know. Mareth Deoline also says, yep, that's right. Jeff 1, Good Morning Pop Culture, Audience 4. Am I playing against the audience? That's not fair. You can call me Ken Jennings if you want. Idio Hogima, thank you very, very much. The Last Jedi characters were really badly scripted NPCs. No personalities, no use. They'd follow you around, get stuck on random objects, run off, come back, aggro everything in the room, etc. Is it wrong when you said get stuck in, from objects? I just thought of Rose Tico's shoulder getting stuck. Hey, come back. Hey, come back. Hey, come back. You can't leave me. We gotta fight this with saving what we love. Saving what we love. Like, I can just imagine Rose Tico just being stuck. Her, like, walking motion hasn't stopped, and her arms just clipped into the wall. Or, like, all those stupid, Skyrim. I love the Skyrim glitches. Those were so fun. Like, seriously, the Skyrim glitches made me laugh. I used to watch those a lot. Or the Skyrim mods. But, yeah, those characters don't have characters. It almost hurts to call them characters. Non-playable characters, again, doesn't really fit because the non-playable characters in Red Dead Redemption have more agency than half the people in these Star Wars movies. Like that one older lady that works in the rebellion with the big nose. Like, they keep putting her on screen like she's going to do something, but she doesn't. At least, look at old characters like General Raikan, who seems like a nobody, who has his own action figure, and people do like it. He at least has lines of dialogue and matters. General Dodonna, again, gets his own action figure, and people bought it up, and he made sense. It's so funny how a franchise from 40 years ago can make a figure from every person ever in the movie, and people buy it up, be it out of collection, people that want to be completists, or people that just like the characters. You know, you can watch old movies. You can watch most movies, and everybody has a favorite character. Maybe, and every character is someone's favorite. Maybe you watch Back to the Future and you like Goldie Wilson. That's your favorite character. You think he's inspirational. Cool. Or you like Biff for some reason. I like Biff. Biff's a great villain. But there's all these characters that have something that connects with you. When you get to The Last Jedi, what do you connect with? And I'm not trying to be funny. Tell me what you connect with in The Last Jedi. Unless you're an entitled piece of shit, nothing. And we don't have those type of people here on the channel. So that's why Kylo Ren doesn't connect. That's why Kylo Ren isn't, isn't this great villain. I don't know if they're rewriting Doctor Who, but I have been in connection with one of our listeners. I'm going to try to watch these new Doctor Who's and get back with you with a video, because I know Doctor Who lore fairly well, not enough to be like, oh, I'm an expert. But from Eccleston on, and I pretty much picked up and gleaned here and there and read about the regenerations. And I even met the one guy that played Doctor Who, Paul, the one that played him on the TV movie before Eccleston, when Doctor Who was essentially dead. Yeah, Paul McGann, I think is his name. Okay, so I connect to Holdo's muff pretty good. Ugh, that's a muff I don't want to connect to. The thing is, Laura Dern has never been an actress I dislike until now. I don't even think I dislike Laura Dern. But she's always been in movies, and I'm just like, okay, it's Laura Dern. Okay, her character's here. I groan when I see her pop up in The Force or The Last Jedi. That is just, oh my god, she sucks. Yeah, Amy, you know what's up. Let's see. I've been checking for shipping options to Jewel Must I want to send. I have an option for a bit more than $40, but they don't ship to P.O. Boxes. Any address I can send it to. King Eric the 15th, just shoot me an email to worldclassbs@mail.com. Oh, wait. No, I have a street ad. This P.O. Box has a street address. I will, let me look into that after the show and shoot me an email to remind me, and I'll try to get it, because I have a thing where you can, they'll ship to anywhere. I have a street address for places that don't do P.O. Boxes like Amazon. I got that extra option to avoid any problems like that. But Domehammer made a good point. Disney doesn't design any characters, Star Wars characters. They just go for generic sci-fi look. That is true. And I think that, talking about generic sci-fi look, that was the biggest problem in terms of cinematography with Rogue One. It didn't look like, I mean, the costumes did look like Star Wars, but the cinematography did not. It's funny. J.J. Abrams tried to sell you on that lens, guys. It's the same lens from Tatooine. So you remake Tatooine. Thank you, J.J. Abrams. But no, they sell you all of these little things that they're trying to tell you, but they miss the overall message. And that's basically what Disney Star Wars is. They try to sell you these little bitty things, but they miss the overall message. And depending on how you feel, you're either annoyed, offended, or pissed off. It's funny how people are talking about Rockstar, how they offend everybody. Rockstar really does have their finger on the pulse of parody and satire. I have an MP3 on my phone that's up through GTA 5, maybe. It's all of all the commercials and all the talk radio and stuff. They make fun of everything, left and right politics, all of that stuff. It's like Leanne Forget says, everybody's got an opinion, and opinions are like assholes and everyone stinks. That's what she says. And look at Leanne Forget. Her name is Lie and Forget. Richard Burns, Dick Burns. I mean, come on. They are the masters of parody. Rockstar is. And I don't think they've actually lost it. They tried to take it serious with GTA 5 or 4, but 5 came right back and fixed all of the problems. And that's why I don't really fear, but I will definitely be heartbroken if they become 2018 Rockstar instead of classic Rockstar, if that makes sense. Let's see. Asteroth, thank you very much. Because we're having fun destroying Disney Star Wars, why in Rogue One did they operate from the Yavin base instead of an abandoned one on Dantooine? That would have been really neat. The abandoned Dantooine base. Let me see if I can come up with an answer for you. So, honestly, they went to Yavin base for nostalgia. That is why they did it. Because, guys, I would put down good money. Not a Duke's Brothers bet, but like serious cash money. Your mama style, if you understand that reference. There's a psychologist or some marketing person that understands psychology, and that is why they did certain things. Look at how they shot the Millennium Falcon. That's the same angle from when Luke was training. They're doing things, these psychological triggers that they're going to use to get you to lull you into this sense of security, familiarity, acceptance of, be it whatever they're trying to push agenda-wise, or the fact that they're being lazy with the script. They're putting these triggers in there for you to where you go, I remember this, I remember that, and then you think of the original Star Wars and you get all warm and fuzzy on the inside, and you go, oh my god, yes! That is what they do that for, Astaroth. That is what I firmly believe. That is why they chose that. Now, the abandoned base on Dantooine would have been cool, because Star Wars is one of my favorite movies. Second favorite, but the first one's my favorite Star Wars film. You know, she lied to us. I told her she would never consciously betray the rebellion. All that shit. That one line of dialogue could have been turned into something cool. But they went for Yavin because they wanted to evoke nostalgia. It was neat to see, but I didn't like seeing Mon Mothma, if that made sense. I always thought of her. I know she's in Revenge of the Sith, or maybe she's in the deleted scene. But I do like just seeing her in Return of the Jedi. I don't like seeing Mon Calamari characters prior to Return of the Jedi either. I know that sounds dumb, but I don't know. It'd be like hearing the Imperial March, or it is like hearing the Imperial March in Rogue One as well. I don't like it. To me, that's an Empire Strikes Back creation. Don't try to put that with Darth Vader. The Imperial, Darth Vader had a theme song. Well, not Darth Vader personally, but there was an Imperial theme song before the Imperial March. Wasn't as great, but it had its own thing. If you're trying to recreate that magic, recreate the magic. Don't go for, I don't know, you just don't be anachronistic is what I'm trying to get at. But that's it. We are having fun destroying Disney Star Wars because they are destroying it themselves, and we're just picking it apart too. Is anyone out there actually creating good Star Wars content? I mean, Ivan Ortega's Last Jedi edit is probably it. He's taking trash and trying to make gold out of it, and he's doing a good job. But he's a talented editor. Hopefully he gets to work on episode 9. They haven't begun to edit the movie. They're in reshoot, so maybe we can help Ivan score a big job in Hollywood. I haven't heard of the Carl's Jr. commercial with the soccer mom, the overweight soccer mom. Mainly because we don't have Carl's Jr. here in Ohio. We have a Hardee's, but not close by. They kind of all closed. So, let's see. Are they manipulating nostalgia, or do they just enjoy the nostalgic feel? I think they're manipulating it. They're manipulating it to make you accept anything else they put in the movie. Because they sold you all that shit. Chewie, we're home. All that crap with the Millennium Falcon they tried to sell you. It worked. but people have been alerted to it, and they don't really pay attention anymore. Hardy says someone, look we don't have Hardy, so I can't really claim on it or, talk about it. Yeah, Carl's Jr. is a Southern thing. There's some in Kentucky and Tennessee. Like when I go to Gatlinburg, they're there. But it's not really something that is normal for me. So here's a little bit of fun information about Avengers 4. So Disney started a clock, and I'm not going to, read you that per se, but I think we're like, 400 and... Wait, no, what is it? Fuck, now that I bring it up, I kind of got to tell you because I mentioned it. I was going to talk about this different article, but let me pull up this Avengers clock, and we'll see where we are. Okay, so Marvel Studios launches... So 176 days as of this article. So I know that I'll probably get excited by day, 100. There we go. When we get to the final 100 days, I'll start thinking about it. But Marvel co-president Kevin Feige talks the first 10 years of the MCU. So there's a book coming out that they're trying to promote in this article. But it's funny how these things evolve. I keep talking about, in many ways, the MCU was like the little engine that could. Obviously, you think, well, Marvel's always been a thing, but the MCU, go back and look. If Iron Man failed, it wasn't gonna be great. They weren't gonna be making all these movies. It was really life or death with that first Iron Man flick, and it worked, and it's great, and it's really a life-changing thing for everyone involved. Robert Downey Jr., Kevin Feige, everybody is better off from the success of those movies, except Hollywood. I think Hollywood has suffered from the success of the Avengers because everyone is chasing for that Avengers high, and they forget to do the legwork and put in the time and actually adapt something that people want. So I thought this was pretty interesting that, just for example, they're talking about some of the effect shots and stuff. So Iron Man had 487 shots, but for Avengers Infinity War, they had 3,100 shots. So the way the technology advanced, and Robert Downey Jr. used to wear a plastic suit from some angles, and then they would CGI on the rest. And the way the filmmaking has evolved over the last 10 years is quite interesting. And I just wanted to read this quote. The culmination of this 10-year story has been a long time coming. Is it good to finally pay things off? And then Kevin Feige said this. Yes, we've been teasing Thanos as being the ultimate villain since the Avengers back in 2012. Marvel Comics readers will understand why he deserves that much build-up. He's a very imposing, formidable force. He basically is an eco-terrorist. He wants to eliminate 50% of the universe arbitrarily to save the other 50%. On his home planet of Titan, he notices the overpopulation, blah, blah, blah. It's quite an emotional thing to see that happen. The Avengers lose. The reason I bring this to your attention, guys, is it's all about build. If you can properly build characters, then you have the fan base hooked, wrapped around your little finger. That is why Episode 9, it can be a course correction film. They can tell you every day it's something. Show me, don't tell me in this case. Show me that it's going to be course correction. I want to know that these characters will become actual characters and not ciphers for political agendas. Look, I don't care about a female Jedi. It's not progressive or cool or new. What I care about is her failing. Ahsoka Tano essentially quits at the Clone Wars because they thought she was a traitor. She doesn't just go, oh, it's okay, Master, I understand. She goes, no, I quit, and walks away. That's some character depth. That is cool. I like Ahsoka. She was a good character. I don't love her like Jeremy does, but I enjoy her. She top 10 Star Wars characters? No. She top 50? Yeah, probably top 20 for me. She's somewhere in that list. Rey, Gonk Droid is more in depth than that. Remember the stormtrooper that got shot and fell over in the cell bay in the Death Star? I like him more than Rey. Anybody more than them. So we had a super chat from the Real Last Jedi. Thank you for being the Real Last Jedi. We appreciate you. You're the Jedi we need. Time travel pops up in Episode 9. We all riot. Yeah, time travel is not Star Wars. I do not like time travel in Star Wars. Time travel is... It barely works in Star Trek. And I'm not talking about the Red Matter and J.J. Abrams Star Trek. I'm talking about Star Trek, what is it, 4, The Voyage Home or something, where they slingshot around the sun and go back to 1980s New York, or 1980s California. I like that movie. I really do. It's a dumb, guilty pleasure, but it's a fun movie, and it's something different. But Star Wars thematically has never had flashbacks, which they now do, which I don't like. They've never had time travel, which just doesn't feel like Star Wars. Star Wars is more science fantasy than science fiction, and that's something I can see in a Blade Runner or a Star Trek or Minority Report or any of these other harder sci-fi things. Star Wars has been fantasy. Time travel just isn't a thing. It's, us with different technology, not time travel. Back to the Future, it's the crux of the story. I get it. But I don't like... but I don't like it in Star Wars. And I won't riot. I'm not going to go to jail for a Star Wars movie, but I will go, oh my God! I will scream. I will groan. I will be that guy in the theater. Somebody tried to pick a fight with me for The Last Jedi. I ain't putting up with that shit. Not again. Not again. Turns out Biff was Snoke. If that's the case, I will apologize. I will shut down this channel. If Thomas F. Wilson was Snoke all along, World Class Bullshitters will go away. That's what I will do. Star Trek had a couple of time travel plots in the original episodes. Didn't they go back to, 40s or 30s America or something, time travel? I'm not up on Star Trek like Doomcock. I'll never act like I'm this big Star Trek enthusiast. I picked up a couple action figures. I like the original show and the cartoon, but that's really the extent of my Star Trek knowledge. Never read a Star Trek book. I do have a Jean-Luc Picard figure from back in the day because I thought he was cool for some reason. So I'm sure I know 1% about Star Trek. I like the culture around Star Trek. I think meeting the Trekkies and then the Trekkers, however you want to change the nomenclature, they're an interesting group of people, and I like the conventions and documentaries about Star Trek. But I have not delved in the way Doomcock has. I don't live in that. That is Star Wars for me. That is Miami Vice for me. That is Back to the Future, Power Rangers, Batman. Other franchises are what I'll dive into like that. Do you reckon time travel is being implemented because of hack writing, and they need to retcon it? Yes, I think that is definitely the case. Is what they need to do is they're going to rely on that. If they do it, it's to rely or to cover up the fact that they had hack writing. That is why Rian Johnson's like a caged animal. Caged animals attack. He fucked up. He had the keys. He tried to be something witty and stupid, and he ruined it. And that's why the movie suffers. Like I said a while ago, most disjointed trilogy in history. It's broken. It's broken structurally. And J.J. Abrams, unless he can mind wipe us all or take us back and remake Episode 8, you can't fix this. There are so many stupid things. The one thing that people were excited for, the return of Luke Skywalker, is gone. They blew that. They blew their load. They ruined it. You see The Force Awakens, everyone's like, oh, where's Luke? Where's Luke? Oh my God, there's Luke! I didn't even scream for that. I just went, oh God, it's the end of the movie. Because I was just... I wish I could make a video that showed my emotions during that movie. Just go back and listen to the first podcast. You can hear me go, I am emotionally gutted. And we were off. Those words, emotionally gutted, started my journey to World Class Bullshitters greatness. Let's see. YTP Mania says, first off, thank you. Knights of the Old Republic is 4,000 years before The Last Jedi and 4,000 times better. I'm not going to argue with you on that one. It's 4,000 times better. It's not that hard to be 4,000 times better than The Last Jedi. We're, 200 times better than The Last Jedi on our worst day. But I need to play that. If I ever get an Xbox One X, I'm going to play that game in its entirety, because I feel like I missed out on some of that back in the day, because I thought it was a straight up turn-based RPG, but then Razorfist told me you can change the combat and have it be real-time, and that's all I care about is the real-time stuff. Alpha Terranema says, Ray, I bypassed the flux capacitor. Oh no. No. If you want me to die of shock, Back to the Future starring Daisy Ridley as Marty McFly. I may choke. I may facepalm so hard my hand goes through my fucking head. you can't make those types of jokes on the show because it hurts me. It stops the flow of the oh God, no. Alpha Terranema, thank you for everything you do, but no. No. I'm not. I can't. I literally can't right now. Jeff, just make a comic about your reaction to watching The Force Awakens and sell it. Oh, I'm 10 steps ahead of you, my friend. I know that's a joke, but that's how Stealing Solo starts. Oh my God. That is like the ultimate in fan reaction to something. It's like, I didn't like what you did so much that I've gone out of my way to create countless hours of content as a response to you. No one else has done that. Not only did Johnson ruin The Last Jedi and make Episode 9 almost impossible to create any continuity with, to Episode 7 or 8, he actually damaged The Force Awakens 2, hurt the past and the future. Well, Tim Riggs, that's an achievement. That's a new lap record. Brett Ratner fucked up X-Men 3, but he only fucked up X-Men 3. Rian Johnson is amazing. I think J.J. Abrams has to secretly hate Rian Johnson because that is the man who has made his job so hard. You know, J.J.'s like, I'm done with Star Wars, but because J.J. Abrams could never be a father because he never finishes. He just never. He starts something and he leaves right in the middle of it. The guy is now being tasked to close out this trilogy. This is a first for J.J. Abrams. Like, he followed up Star Trek with Into Darkness, but he didn't finish that trilogy. He has to finish this trilogy. And that's like the first time he's ever done that. Most of his movies seem to be open-ended and stupid. Excuse me. And now he's going to be forced to do this. So I'm interested to see if J.J. Abrams has that ability. If J.J. Abrams has the ability to finish something, I'll be very impressed. Jeffrey Jacob Abrams. Are you hearing me? Do it, man. Do it. Ray, what the hell is the Force? I haven't seen The Rock's Bambi Live remake thing, the skit from SNL. It's funny. I keep going on about how much I love The Rock, but I haven't seen that. Maref Dealine, thank you very much for your super chat. If Thor leaves Mjolnir in an elevator and hits the up button, will the elevator rise if it is worthy? That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe. Damn it. That's one of those all-time great questions. Maybe because the elevator is an inanimate object? Wait, I would say yeah, because the helicarrier was still able to lift and move when Mjolnir was dropped on the ground during that fight with the Hulk. The helicarrier was still floating. He had damage in the jets from Hawkeye, but Thor would put it down on tables and stuff. Wouldn't that same theory apply to if the hammer's on something? Wouldn't it sink because the ship isn't worthy? I think, yeah, the elevator would go up, but no one would be able to remove it from the elevator. Because remember, we think it's magic, but where Thor comes from, science and magic are one and the same. So, let's see. Aluminum Falcon, yes, Robot Chicken, Star Wars. Mjolnir only affects sapient beings. Let's see, Bethesda murdered Fallout with 4 now. Oh my god, the Fallout stuff. I'm not really following that. I followed the Diablo stuff. We covered it yesterday. YouTube shit the bed. It was kind of weird. I guess that topic was verboten. But on the replays, we've been getting the same amount of views with the topic. So I guess people do care. It's just, it was a glitch. But those words weren't welcome here on the platform. So we've had a strong week here on Good Morning Pop Culture. We got one more day to close out after today. Tonight, World Class Bullshitters, we will have Doomcock. So be prepared for that. It's going to be a lot of fun as always. The guy is a walking, entertaining individual. Love him to death. Wish he would be on the show every week. But he's got his own channel to run. But if one of the bullshitters dies that's not me, I will ask Doomcock to fill in permanently. And shit, when I know the other guys aren't going to be available, I'm going to ask Doomcock to, just show up. Like, hey man, Nick can't make it. Can you replace him? I don't think anyone would complain that Doomcock, because we've had Doomcock on the High Council where we talk Star Wars. That is our weekly Star Wars show. But Doomcock has never been on World Class Bullshitters, and it's a whole different animal because the dude is well versed in everything. So it'll be interesting to see what they or how how it goes. It's going to go great, but I really wish it was tonight. 12 hours from now, folks, Doomcock will be here on the channel. We'll be discussing the world of entertainment, and one of these weeks we're going to play a game here on World Class Bullshitters. I don't know exactly what we're going to do yet. But before we go, let's talk about remakes, pointless movie remakes, because in my upcoming series, Culture War, this is relevant. So I'm going to watch the chat right now. Press 1 if you enjoy Christmas. Seriously, I'm going to wait for just a moment. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Press 1 if you enjoy Christmas. 2, you can say you don't, but this builds up to something. No matter what you say, we're going to be talking about, Okay, so Damien is the first person. Okay, so we're getting... Oh, superfan Adam Shawhan loves Christmas so much. Gets 2 1s. Okay, so mostly people are loving Christmas. Now, I'm not talking about Die Hard. Don't worry, we're going to be doing Die Hard stuff. That is the official Christmas movie of World Class Bullshitters. But I want to talk about pointless movie remakes. When you think of pointless movie remakes, you think of Episode 7. You think of Psycho. You think of The Thing from 2011. You think of well, not Predators, because that's not a remake. That's more of a sequel. But there are countless pointless, stupid remakes that constantly happen. And Secret Rebel says, when you said you wouldn't give $2 to Disney, is that Black Series? Does that mean Bespin Leia? It's Gorgeous Fig. I've seen it. American Trent has 2 of them. Why isn't Trading Places a Christmas movie? It is. It is. It's a great movie. Trading Places is a movie that will offend people today. So I strongly suggest everyone watches it. Trading Places is a 8 out of 10 movie for me. It's funny. It works on every level. It's a little spicy. It's a little testy. Some people would call it racist, but I think the overall message is it's not about where you come from, it's how you finish. And street smarts and book smarts can come together to outsmart the biggest, the oldest of money. Okay, so here we go. Not a Home Alone remake. I didn't realize they were remaking Home Alone, but I want to talk about The Grinch. This Grinchy, crappy remake that... oh, if you can hear me right now, just for a moment, folks, my web browser froze again. So... hopefully the show's still live. I hate when this happens. It only happens when I try to screen share on Google Chrome, which is, the preferred platform of YouTube. So I won't be able to read your chats for a moment. I'm going to have to pull it up on my phone. It says we're still live. Okay. The preferred... we can hear myself too. Okay, so I got the chat pulled up in front of me. Yes, 10 for Trading Places, all kinds of stuff. So I was going to talk about the Grinch film. Yes, the Autist Whisperer, you beat me to the punch. It is about the Grinch film. So IGN just rated it. And currently they've given it a 6.3 out of 10. And here's the thing. I like Christmas. I love how the Grinch stole Christmas. It is one of my favorite Christmas traditions. The animated version. And I don't mean this new piece of crap. I don't mean the Jim Carrey one. I mean the 1960s at 6, or is it 67? Chuck Jones animated special where he's voiced by Boris Karloff, and the guy that was Tony the Tiger, was it Thurl something, sang the song. The Grinch, You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch is a song I listen to. Surprisingly, I can listen to it all year. Like if I'm by myself and it pops up on my phone, I will listen to it. But the Grinch is just... It's funny, the Christmas movies I like aren't necessarily the, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings, and all that other sappy, saccharine Christmas shit. I enjoy some of the cynical side of Christmas, but I do enjoy the happy, positive message at the end of the day. So for me, this Grinch thing just seems like a soulless cash grab, and in like the worst possible time to do it. It's out now, which I get it, you want it out for Christmas, but why are you redoing The Grinch? The Jim Carrey movie came and went, and people have gone back to the original cartoon again. It's the same story. The Grinch is one book. I know he appeared in the, The Grinch Halloween special. But, You need to take me to Micro Center Mall. I don't live too far from that. Thing is, my computer's fine. It's just this only happens with this damn browser. Everything else on the computer's fine. Like I'm recording the audio in another program, no problems whatsoever. Only goddamn Google Chrome. So, let's see. Mareth Dealine sent in a super chat. Thank you very much, Mareth Dealine. Would you be interested in a Tombstone watch party? If so, I'll hit you up after work. We can do a Tombstone watch party. Mareth Dealine, you are a big part of this channel, so sure, we can make that happen. You know how to email me. I'll tell you a date when we're free. I've been keeping the calendar right next to my desk, keeping specific days and dates and everything that I need to get prepared for. So we can make that happen. I can make that happen. All you have to do is remind me. I know I'll wait for the other guys to get involved because everybody seems to like that movie. They'll have more to say, and it'll be my first time watching it. Maybe I'll watch it first, and then I'll do a commentary with you guys. Yeah, Alphamar Dutilis is in the same boat as I am. But yeah, if you guys want Western stuff because of the popularity of Red Dead Redemption 2 right now, yeah, let me talk to the other guys. Maybe next weekend we can work something out. Dion is out of town because it's his birthday. Phil's birthday is this weekend too, so it's going to be a different time to try to get those guys available. But I'm all for that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do some Western stuff, and it's cool to expand the channel, expand the brand. It's cool to learn something myself. Oh, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Now, I love that movie. Maybe, since it's on Amazon right now, on a Saturday afternoon, I can get somebody to join me, and we'll do a Dollars Trilogy live stream. We can talk about Westerns and stuff like that. Like I said, just something different, something new. We call ourselves the epitome of pop culture, and we want to cover all aspects. No, I have not seen Saving Private Ryan just yet. I will eventually. I've seen the one scene, the D-Day scene, we watched that in high school, but that's about all I've seen. Jeff, the 9th film will flop, but we will get the blame. That's blame I'm willing to take. Oh my god, these toxic fans, they killed Star Wars. Well, then don't fuck with these toxic fans. If we wield so much power, why test us? I mean, I'm not trying to, wave a walking stick around. All I'm trying to say is if this is such a problem, then why go against us? You don't need to make the movies just like we like, but admit that they kind of sucked and that you're going to change. We don't need to change. You need to change. No. We like Star Wars. It was great. You ruined it. Blame, don't you mean credit? Yeah, true. Yes, Mercutio, they don't want to own up to their words. Yeah, Superfan Adam Shellhan, everything is your fault. That's the reason why I didn't have Cracker Barrel this morning. Because I live too far from a Cracker Barrel, it is your fault. What about Lord of the Rings? I'm interested in your commentary on it. Yeah, I could do Lord of the Rings. Again, I've never seen it all the way through. I've seen part of the first one and the end of the third one. Yeah. Fantasy is not really my forte, so it may not be as positive, and then people unsubscribe. You don't like Lord of the Rings? I quit the channel. I mean, that's how some people get. I know that sounds really shitty to think people are like that, but people do get like that. It's like, oh, you didn't love the Clone Wars revival? I'm unsubscribing. Well, then you heard that it's too violent for Disney and that they're going back and re-recording episodes. So, sorry, I had the, maybe I didn't have my future Star Wars content, but I did know it was going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to be, Lord of the Rings is going to be bad, but I don't enjoy sword and sorcery types of movies. So I'm just letting you know that I'm already coming in, maybe with a chip on my shoulder, at a disadvantage. I don't know how to phrase it, but Lord of the Rings, I will give it a fair shot. It was popular, and it did all this shit, and people were going on and on about it for a decade. It might be amazing. I tried watching a Harry Potter movie, didn't like it. I saw The Hunger Games, didn't like it. So the thing is, guys, I'm really, really open to watching these new and different movies. I just don't know. Some of them I've seen, some of them I don't like. Conan the Barbarian gets a pass, and Willow. I don't like Willow, but I do like Conan the Barbarian. Arnold Schwarzenegger's just so damn cool. And the ending kicks ass. Oh, I've seen Battle Royale. I've seen Battle Royale years ago. I think I even watched it before Hunger Games. I've also seen Audition and Ichi the Killer. I've seen a couple of Japanese horror films. Tokyo Gore Police, terrible movie. I've watched some weird stuff. Yeah, Otis Whisperer. I don't like Conan the Destroyer. Never seen, was it Krull the Conqueror? Or just Krull? I saw the Kevin Sorbo one in the late 90s because I loved Hercules so much that I'd watch anything that dude was in. But no, I haven't seen that one. Star Wars The Third Gatherer's Watch Party? I don't know what that is. Well, you're surprised I don't like Sword and Magic since I like comics of Conan. I don't really like Conan the Barbarian comics. I like the artist John Buscema, and I'll read anything he draws. But I love comic books. But listen to the comic books I read. Spider-Man, Batman, Daredevil, some Star Wars stuff back in the day. I'll pick up licensed comics based off things I like. For a while, I was into... I was reading Justice League and other DC books. It really depends. I may like certain genre things, but I don't go as deep into the rabbit hole. My favorite things... I don't know what I would call my favorite thing ever, but they all... If there's like a way to lump them together in terms of, similar styles. I mean, my favorite movie is Back to the Future, but I don't like all time travel movies. I like the first Star Wars movie, but I don't love all space fantasy films. I don't do Battlestar Galactica or Buck Rogers or any of that stuff. Albedo, thank you very much for your super chat. The Third Gather is a Chinese bootleg of episode 3. Well, Albedo, if you email me to remind me, I will find a way to watch that, because I love all the words in that sentence. Third Gathers, Chinese bootleg, and episode 3. Those are all words I like to see put together. Chinese bootleg of Star Wars episode 3. And I like episode 3. I wonder what the Chinese bootleg is going to be. Go balls deep in the rabbit hole. Alice likes that. Makes me think of Malice in Wonderland from Wally Wood. That's an old comic. Have you ever read any of the Elric comics or fantasy stories? Razor Fist recommended them. They're freaking great. I have not, but I'm taking a screenshot on my phone, and I'm going to check those out. I've seen the Raid movies. I like martial arts films, but I don't like the... was it House of Flying Daggers or House of Sand and Fog? Wait, House of Sand and Fog is some Sandra Bullock movie. I don't do the period piece, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, all that kind of stuff. My favorite, the only period piece martial arts film that I enjoy is Legend of Drunken Master, the second one that's kind of funny. But I like Enter the Dragon, Return of the Dragon, Jackie Chan movies. I like Rumble in the Bronx. I know that's not the best one, or Operation Condor, Super Cop. I mean, I like what I had access to as a kid, and then the stuff I'll watch as an adult. Is Hard Boiled really a martial arts film? No, it's an action film from John Woo. So I'm really open to international cinema. But as a kid, I would watch tons of martial arts flicks. And the ones that took place in feudal China or whatever, or in the past, I watched for the fighting, but I didn't love them. The ones I always gravitated towards were the ones that I could, recognize the technology, and it felt like it was close. Even though Enter the Dragon was 73, even though that was dated, I still liked it, and the endings kicks ass. So I love martial arts flicks. If, again, that could be something we do. Dredd, we need more of that film. Yeah, Dredd was awesome. I saw that in theaters. Oh, I love Lethal Weapon. I love Big Trouble in Little China. Those are movies I enjoy. But Lethal Weapon, man, it was funny. I wasn't sold on Lethal Weapon the way Dion was, but once I eventually watched him on Netflix, I was like, these are great. And then I bought them on Blu-ray. I stand by Lethal Weapons. What do I think of Ron Cobb as an artist? He is the set design for Alien. It's weird. I always think of H.R. Giger when I think of Alien, but I guess I like Ron Cobb's artwork because I like the set design for Alien. I got that movie on Blu-ray. There's something about see, Star Wars is out of that category. Let's just put sci-fi movies from the 70s and early 80s in a category, and then Star Wars is above that. Yeah, it's a better movie, but that's not what I'm trying to get at. There's a certain grimy, dirty, nasty feel to a lot of 70s sci-fi, and some would argue Star Wars has that. I would say it does, but it's also It's got its own thing going that's so powerful that it transcends that. But I like the way Alien looks. It's the most atmospheric of the entire franchise. That's another series, though, that I consider half good, half bad. 1 and 2, or Alien and Aliens, 2 thumbs up. 3, Resurrection, and anything else that comes after it, eh. Even Prometheus, which I found to be just okay, isn't a movie I ever really want to watch again. But the first 2 are just classics. Ong Bak was fire in college. Yes, I saw Ong Bak was a Thai Warrior. We should do a Dread commentary when Dion's available. Have I seen the Ip Man movies? Was that Donnie Yen? I feel like I may have seen Ip Man 3. People are loving... Let's see. EVS has not seen Big Trouble in Little China. Well, I mean, nobody's perfect. Die Hard 1 and 2. I don't like Die Hard 2. I like Die Hard 1, 3, 4, 2, and then if I have to, 5. Yeah, I don't want Big Trouble in Little China to be remake. I like gritty sci-fi to a degree. It really depends upon the movie. There's very few genres that I just openly buy. Here's one thing I'll buy into as a genre. I love the cocaine cowboy stuff. If it's cocaine cowboy-centric stuff, I am buying into it. Miami Vice, Scarface, the cocaine cowboy documentaries. Something about, like, Miami. I just really like that place. I fucking love that place. Yeah, Darwin James, I heard about that. It's really terrible. The thing in California. I don't even want to use buzzwords to trigger Google. But it's sad. That's why I started the show a little late this morning. I was just trying to get caught up on the story. You never want to politicize that. People died. It's terrible. And I'm sad to hear that. Genuinely saddened to hear that. I don't care what you believe in. That shouldn't happen to anybody. Ip Man 3 sucks. I need to see number 1. Die Hard 2 is fantastic, if only because you get to watch Meat from Porky's get stabbed in the eye with an icicle. While that is a good sell, Naked William... What's his name? Not William Atherton, because he's in that movie too. Naked William... The guy from Bill and Ted. I didn't need to see his naked ass. Plus, in all honesty, I feel like Lethal Weapon 2 is so derivative of not Lethal Weapon 2. Die Hard 2 is so derivative of Die Hard 1. It's just like the same shit in a different setting. And people say, isn't that the same for all sequels? No, Die Hard 3 is way different. They just tried to expand slightly from Nakatomi Plaza to an airport. Die Hard 2 is not a bad movie. I just don't like it. I mean, I admit that it has some great lines. One of my favorite lines in all of Die Hard is like, freedom. He goes, not yet. And then he like kicks the door shut or whatever on the guy. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. Like, I like moments from the movie. I own Die Hard on Blu-ray, DVD. I would buy John McClane action figures if they made a new good one. It all depends. Jeff, if you could remake any movie besides a Star Wars film, what would it be? Spider-Man 3, hands down. I would remake Spider-Man 3. I'd go back in time because the Spider-Man franchise, say what you want about Kirsten Dunst. She's not perfect, but there's never been a better Mary Jane because there's never been another one. But Spider-Man 3 would be the film I'd remake because Spider-Man 3, or 1 and 2, were damn near perfect. I wouldn't change anything about those, and they set up properly. They weren't... there's the post Spider-Man 2 era where Avi Arad in all of his infinite wisdom is trying to set up 1,000,001 spin-offs. It's like, great, Avi, shut up, let's focus on the current movie. Spider-Man 2 was great. 10 out of 10 for me. Wouldn't change a single thing. 3 was the biggest disappointment because it comes off the best superhero movie ever. I would remake that in a heartbeat. That's all I can say. Die Hard 2 is a Rennie Harlan film. That's all you need to say to me to explain the dislike. It was Joel Schumacher before Joel Schumacher. He was Joel Schumacher before Joel Schumacher. But Apollo Creed, I disagree because I like A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. It's not the best of the franchise, but it's decent. And didn't Rennie Harlan also direct Speed? And I like Speed. I think that's a funny movie. Fun movie. I love those stupid early 90s action flicks because they knew what they were. That, Point Break, maybe it's just Keanu Reeves films, but they know what they are. They don't take themselves too seriously, and they're not trying to be more. When these movies become too more, that's what I hate. I respect that you want to make it on your own. All right, Turbo Donk, way to quote Norman Osborn at me, bro. What is the best Die Hard sequel? For me, it's 2, but 1 is the best in the franchise. The best sequel's 3 for me, and number 1's the best. Die Hard's the best action movie ever made. I should do a video where I watch Die Hard, but you can see my face, because my expressions, like, when I watch some movies, I just watch it. Die Hard, I experience it. I go along for the ride. That ending, man. I love the part when he jumps off the roof after they blow the roof, and he goes into the room, and he's like, the carpet's sliding, and he's trying to get off the fire hose. It's like Bruce Willis emotes. Sometimes I like the cold action hero like a James Bond, but the reason I think John McClane works so well is because, like, he gets shot, he goes, ah! I know that's kind of a lame scream, that's what he sounds like, but if we all got shot in the arm, we wouldn't just go, he got shot in the arm. He's got his feet all cut up. He's like ready to throw in the towel. And then at the last minute, he just pulls it out of his ass. There are a lot of layers to Die Hard that make me like it so much. And, maybe I'll try to break it down better on this year's Christmas stream. The bank robbery scene from 2 is so on the money. I guess you're talking about Spider-Man 2. Yeah. Here's your change and all that stuff. Man, Spider-Man 2. What a great time to be a Spider-Man fan. That's why while I'm upset over Homecoming and all this bullshit, I got to live through the prime Spider-Man time at the right age. I was, 13 when the first movie came out? So I was playing GameCube, and I still buy action figures as an adult. Who am I lying to? But I bought the toys and the games and all that stuff, and I got all this shit, and I got to live it. It was fun. I got to experience it when I was still young enough to be a kid. Kids nowadays don't get the real good Spider-Man, but at least I had it, and it can't go away. Eddie Max of Andor, thank you very much. You ever scream or shoot your gun in the air? No, I've never screamed and shot my gun in the air. I was going, ah! I love Hot Fuzz so much. Oh, thank you for that. You made my morning, sir. Ever notice how superhero films always ruin the film by adding multiple villains rather than concentrating on a good story? That does seem to be the case, mutter Meeseeks. It's like, oh, what can we do to top this? They picked the wrong thing to top. Now, for me, I would rather watch one... Okay, so if I'm remaking Spider-Man 3, you have to have the resolution to Harry Osborn. I think that would be kind of good, because you could actually have a narrative instead of doing Sandman and all this crap. You could have a smaller villain in the beginning that Spider-Man has to deal with while Harry kind of regains his stuff. But I wouldn't make it Sandman. Maybe Mysterio, make that have I'd say that for another one. But you could have him, Green Goblin, terrorize the city once again. And imagine that, the fear. Because remember, people don't really know what happened to the Green Goblin. He did all that shit. He blew up the ferry, or he blew up the cable car, and he wreaked havoc at the Unity Day Festival. Like 5 years ago, blah, blah, blah. And then he was quiet. Did Spider-Man defeat him? And then he comes back, and Harry should have worn the same armor, just like his dad. And that would have been a much better thing. Because the Green Goblin, in many respects, is Spider-Man's best villain. You could have had another Green Goblin flick. You could have... Oh my god, we couldn't have sold as many toys. Who gives a shit? You can sell more toys if you make a great movie and continue to make great movies, because then you can keep putting toys there for the franchise. Spider-Man could have gone on forever. We could be living in... Look, at the greatest thing ever for me, if I could control all of movies, one of my happiest moments, that could never happen, would have been in the Avengers, like literally during the Battle of New York, at the last minute, I don't know, Hawkeye or Captain America, just somebody that can't fly or jump really far is about to be killed or fall, and then a web saves him, Spider-Man appears, people would have lost their shit. You don't promote it, you don't tell anybody, you keep it under lock and key. That would have been the biggest moment of the movie. And then Spider-Man's connected with the MCU. That would have been way better. But, you got your Funko Pop generation. Oh, Tom Holland's so great. He's okay. He's fine. But there's the level of depth that's always been with the character of Spider-Man just isn't there anymore. Yep, Dr. Coffinails, I'm with you 100%. Okay, Jeff, what movie would you remake that isn't part of a franchise or trilogy? A standalone movie that people may have forgotten about. Okay, that's a good follow-up question. A remake. What movie do I like that kind of sucks that needs to get remade? It's weird. I don't know. I'm looking at the movies I own. I think the only movie I own on this one shelf that I've never watched, or I haven't seen in years, is Bean, but I wouldn't want to remake Bean. God, that's a hard question. Not that I don't want to answer it, it's just kind of a hard question. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm sorry. How much Spider-Man stuff do you have? I don't want to send you stuff you already have. Oh man, what don't I have of Spider-Man? I haven't bought any of the new comic books in years. I got a ton of old issues from different decades. I'll talk to you, man. You can always shoot me a message on Facebook. Harry Osborn was perfectly done in the first and second film. Yep, I'm with you there, Grand Moff Tarkin. Jeff, I like Spider-Man for what it was. I have no problems about the film story. You mean Homecoming? I had tons of problems for it. Or with it. Spider-Man 3, Web at the Moon. Are they going to Gandalf Luke in Episode 9? Have the Force resurrect him because it's not done with him yet, since JJ doesn't have an original bone in his body? I can totally see that. Yeah, I could see that too, but here's the question for you, Bro Apollo Creed. Do they market that, or do they keep that a secret thing? Because, remember, they announced Luke coming back, and Lando, and all these things, Carrie Fisher. They're not marketing this in the secret way that they normally do. I believe that they will, if they do that, they'll like, witness the return of Luke Skywalker. Like, they're going to try to milk that. But you're going to have your people that are just so, like, defeated. We're not children, and we're not like dogs or goldfish or something. We have a memory that goes far back. People aren't just going to go, oh, he's back. I forgot about everything that came before it. If anything, you're going to piss people off way more than what you had previously. Oh, Jeff, I meant I have no problem with Spider-Man 3. That's fine. There are moments of greatness in Spider-Man 3, but it's ultimately disappointing, and that's why I want to remake it. Mareth Dealine, thank you very much. Aunt May Benjamin buttoning her way through Spider-Man remakes. Well, that is a very true statement, but at least Marissa Tomei is super hot, the milfiest of Aunt Mays. But do you want Aunt May to be hot? That's not a character you think about being sexy. It's like Oddjob being sexy. It's just weird. Even in the Ultimate Comics, they made her younger, but not sexy. Marissa Tomei is, all-time hot, great woman. I think of Aunt May as like your grandma, your mom. You're not, Marissa Tomei. That bothers me, Marissa Dealine. There's probably some stupid Rule 34 fan fiction that people are writing for that, or have written for that. God, that movie's almost 2 years old at this point. And the next one comes out next year. That is the biggest problem with the MCU. Always knowing, I said it in the video, it's nice to know when a character comes back, but on an event like Infinity War, it kind of takes away the impact. Much like with the first Avengers. When I watched Iron Man carry that missile through the portal, I was like, oh my god, is he going to die? Look at the emotion on the face of Robert Downey Jr. I was really buying into the scene. And then, oh wait, Iron Man 3 comes out next year. He'll be fine. It's like, fuck. So, highly unlikely about the pissing people off thing after doing Luke dirty like they did. Star Wars is in hospice for me. Episode 9 and The Mandalorian may kill it for me. This Mandalorian, I'm really... The funny thing is, they're going to pull this shit, and then we're going to complain about it, and then they're going to pull the sexist card. But it's played out. It's cold product. We don't want it anymore. You can't use that argument. Cutter has a DC character ever crossed over into Spider-Man. There was a Spider-Man Superman comic book back in the 70s where they met. And it's a pretty damn good book. Ross Andrew was the main artist, and then they had Ramita and somebody else come in and touch up the Superman and Spider-Man and certain models respectively. It was kind of a cool project. I know some people would say it took away the artistic integrity of the artist, but back then comic book companies had a thing called house style where they wanted the books to look a certain way. So Spider-Man had to look a certain way to match the marketing and stuff like that. And I actually enjoyed when there was a house style or a unified style across specific characters. So like when you pick up a Spider-Man book, it's going to look a certain way. Some people would say, no, I like it. So for this book, the Spider-Man, Superman comic book, they had one artist do all this artwork, but then they did have other people come in and do touch-ups on the people's faces to make them look like their respective things. And I thought the story was pretty solid. It's a the highly sought after comic book. I'd buy a good reprint if they would make one. I don't really want to drop, a decent amount. That's a comic book I'd like to have in my collection, much like the first appearance of the Punisher and all these other Spider-Man comics. But I just don't want to drop the big bucks right now. I got, channel stuff to do. Claustoric, thank you very much, my friend, for your super chat. Ray, I bypassed the Ark of the Covenant. Here is Kathleen Kennedy's rewrite of Raiders of the Lost Ark. So Indy and Ray are tied up. Don't look at it, Ray. I'll do what I want. So she stares into the Ark of the Covenant, and so it melts. What's his name? Dietrich's face off. No, it melts off. What's his name? Tote. It melts off Tote's face. It sucks in Dietrich's. It blows up Belloc's head, and Ray. She just gets superpowers, rips off the shackles, and flies to the fucking moon. That's what happens in Kathleen Kennedy's rewrite of Raiders of the Lost Ark, coming to a theater near you, 2020. Yeah, Claustoric, I get your sentiment, and those jokes never get tiresome for me, because it's almost like every female character in these action movies are trying to send a message to the past. Like, you're talking to a thing that doesn't have ears. You're just yelling down a hallway that no one gives a shit about. Oh my god, I'm so sorry Indiana Jones wasn't a woman 40 years ago. Get over your fucking selves. Oh my god, I'm so sorry the Princess Leia didn't wield a lightsaber. Oh my god, get over yourselves. Oh, she didn't pilot a ship. Oh, tough shit. She could kick ass. She kicked ass on the Death Star. She did this, she did that. It wasn't enough. It's never enough until we're the number one and we control whatever. Fuck you people. Kathleen Kennedy and everyone involved in Hollywood, you're ruining entertainment. And you're not going to have a job. You're not going to have a goddamn job in the future. Batman and Daredevil teamed up in 1997. I have not read that comic book. I need to. I did read Batman and Spider-Man in the 90s, where they fight the Joker. That was cool. The Mandalorian, a story about a time-traveling vehicle created by Emmett Brown. Rugis, I like that concept. Let's make that into a movie. What's that kid from Family Ties doing these days? Did I know that the Power Rangers wouldn't exist if it weren't for Stan Lee and Spider-Man? You gotta fill me in on that one. Harrison, give me back my family Ford. God, I love that man. Do you think the MCU is getting stale just because they play everything a little bit too safe? Ant-Man 2 is extremely generic. Metalhead Zaki. Let's see. I do think the MCU is getting stale. I don't feel fatigue yet, but I do feel a staleness coming on. Because your statement at the end, Ant-Man 2 is extremely generic. That was the first time where I kind of left going, I feel like I would have felt that way, though, if Black Panther had Infinity War not been literally weeks away. Just get yourself in the mindset for being more excited for a movie than you ever have before, and then you know what I felt about Infinity War. Well, Spider-Man or Spider-Man 2 or 3. Fuck, I don't know. God. In my adulthood. Put it like that. Yeah, but I do think it's getting a little stale. I'm kind of tired of the same old shit. Now, Infinity War wasn't the same old shit. It was good to me. That's why I was happy. It subverted our expectations in a good way. But with Captain Marvel, I expect same old shit, different package, and then we're going to be talked down to. And then we're going to have a really handicapped MCU, but the media is going to keep telling us it's great. Astorath, thank you very, very much for your super chat. Favorite film opener based on spectacle? Mine's Episode 3. Favorite film opening based on spectacle. Okay, so Back to the Future doesn't have a really powerful opening. It's fun, it's cool, but no. Star Wars opening is great, but it's not my favorite. Die Hard's opening, no. Spectacle. Beverly Hills Cop, spectacle, no. There's no spectacle in that whole movie, really. I just like it. Greatest opening based on spectacle. That's a good quantifier you added, or modifier you added to it. I'm trying to think. Based on spectacle. I'm looking at movies that I like that have big openings based on spectacle. Goddamn. Batman 89 has a cool opening, but I don't know if that's big spectacle. Oh, God. I want to give you a better answer. When you guys pull out stuff like that, it really makes me go, huh? Oh! We'll do Raiders of the Lost Ark. There we go. That's a lot of spectacle. That's a kick-ass opening. When he's at the temple in the beginning of the movie, yeah, that's my answer right there. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Because it just says opener based on spectacle. Doesn't have to be outer space, because episode 3's opening is fantastic. Really, that movie doesn't slow down for the first 30 minutes. You kind of start watching it and you go, wow, cool. And then it builds up again. Really, episode 3, that's George Lucas at his best as an old man. I look fondly back on that movie. Cinevaref653, thank you very much for your super chat. I can't wait until the X-Men come into the MCU so that Rogue can steal Captain Marvel's powers and put her into a coma. If only Rogue was real right now. And hey, Brie Larson, so nice to see you. And she never wakes up from her coma until, like, I don't know, 2047. Good 29 years from now. That'd be 30. Yeah, 29. Yeah, I know you say that as a joke, and I do feel the same way, but I do want the X-Men to be done right, because I'm kind of in this weird X-Men nostalgia wave. Not for being like a kid, but for being just something about the designs and the quality of the storytelling. I'm really feeling X-Men right now, and I'm hoping the MCU can pull off that feeling and not give us same old shit, different day. The exposition in Back to the Future is great. Yeah, exposition in everything about Back to the Future is great. I mean, the way Doc explains the flux capacitor to Marty at the Twin Pines Mall, the way Lorraine explains how the parents met and how she was as a child or as a teenager, and then you realize she's nothing like that, and it's really, Back to the Future has the best script ever. It's the best movie. You can have differing opinions, it's fine. I stand by it. Back to the Future is the best movie ever made. I wouldn't change anything about it. It's funny, too, because it's Back to the Future week officially, I haven't watched the movie again. I was thinking about doing a one-man live stream commentary where we talk about Back to the Future. But I don't really have the time. Maybe I can try to do something Sunday night late. I don't know. But I was listening to the soundtrack, the score. It's on Google Play Music. And for as much as I love the movie, I've never listened to that score in its entirety isolated. And man, there are some moments that are just like, holy shit, this is Back to the Future. The movie has its own identity. I think that's another problem with movies that we're having trouble with, is a lack of identity. People want branding, but the movies lack their own identity. Like, the Marvel movies are just the Marvel movies. They don't really have anything that makes them stand out. Spider-Man had its own identity. That was cool. Back to the Future, it has the theme, the car, it just has all of its own elements that make it its own thing. Marvel is just superhero movie of that day, and that's it. Back to the Future is a timeless classic. Jurassic Park has its own identity. Star Wars, all the big greats. A lot of Spielberg stuff has its own identity. Even stuff like a Baby Driver has more of an identity than a Marvel film. And I'm not saying that in a negative way towards these Marvel flicks. It's just identity is important, and not the political side of it. Justice for X-Men and Fantastic Four. They can be great if they allow them to be great. Are there any famous good time travel movies you can recommend? Besides that little indie pick Back to the Future, you could try Primer, or Primer, however it's pronounced. That's different. I like that movie quite a bit, actually. It's the only great film trilogy now, Back to the Future. Yeah, because it's still a trilogy, I guess I have to say that. If Indiana Jones was a trilogy, best trilogy ever made. Hands down, all three of those flicks, I wouldn't change anything. I love those. Dayton Pfeiffer, hey man, what's up? Thank you for the $5 message. No message, but we still appreciate you, buddy. Big time. Superfan Adam Shahan says, favorite 10 out of 10 movie, not including Back to the Future, Beverly Hills Cop, Lethal Weapon, Star Wars, etc. Something you haven't told us. Oh, okay. Favorite 10 out of 10 movie. Well, I told you I love Hot Fuzz. I told you I love The Big Lebowski. Told you I love Wayne's World. That's another movie that I hold up there. Told you I love Batman 89. Told you I love Die Hard. I really love 21 Jump Street. I think that has a lot going on behind this, between the lines that people don't pay attention to. I love Superman Christopher Reeve, but I don't think that's a 10 out of 10 movie. I think it has problems. I love him as Superman. It's a very nice, comforting watch. GoldenEye is a 10 out of 10 movie for me. The thing that I like about this channel is I get to talk about the stuff I love with you guys, and you all seem to either understand why I would like it or like it as well. I'm looking through all my stuff to try to pick out something I don't really talk about. I really like The Wizard of Oz. I don't talk about that very much. Terminator 2, I love that movie as well. I mean, if you want me to say like movies that I like that are small films that aren't really big drama or big action set piece movies. Trying to look right now to give you guys. I mean, Shaun of the Dead I talk about a lot. I can tell you a guilty pleasure movie is fucking Mortal Kombat. I like that movie. That's a guilty pleasure. But yeah, man, I can't think of something, a more in-depth answer for you. I apologize. Indiana Jones is a trilogy. Yeah, I think so too. This is how we say goodbye in Austria. Pause. This is how we say goodbye in Germany. I prefer the Austrian way. Oh my god. Have I seen Chopper, Jeff? Favorite Aussie flicks? Mad Max, because those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head. We can do international film. I'm open to those ideas. The Last Starfighter is a great movie. I've seen The Last Starfighter. What is that? Isn't Lance Guest the main guy? Is there any animated stuff you like? Any animated stuff? Oh, I like a lot of animation. But outside of Batman the Animated Series stuff, yeah, I enjoy... Because I don't really like the Pixar movies for what they are, or don't dislike them either, but I do like to watch them just for the animation itself, especially in high def. I just kind of stare at it. I like The Incredibles. I own that movie. I thought The Incredibles was a damn fine film. I like a lot of animated TV shows more than I like animated movies. Like, I love Lupin the Third, but I like the show more than I like the movie. Same with Golgo 13. Love Golgo 13. But I prefer the actual 2008 TV show to the movies The Professional and Queen Bee. So that's why I don't really talk about too many animated films. But I do like animation a lot. A lot. I respect it. I love like watching Johnny Quest. Johnny Quest is cool. I wish there was more Johnny Quest out there. But there's only a few episodes because it was so expensive to produce. But, you know, and I love old Hanna-Barbera stuff. Super Friends is fun to watch. That's stupid. It's fun. Scooby-Doo, Flintstones. I grew up watching that stuff. That's why I don't have the attachment to Disney. The Disneyfication has really brainwashed a lot of people into thinking that it was always Disney. Disney was the only game in town. But like I've said before, when Disney was at its lowest, entertainment was at its highest. So I love old Hanna-Barbera, Nicktoons, stuff like that. Cinevareth653, thank you very much for your super chat. By the way, I've been watching Spider-Man the Animated Series. I'm in season 2 now, and I'm loving it. Okay, so there we go. There's another animated thing I enjoy. Cinevareth653, I grew up with it. I remember watching the premiere, the Lizard episode. Fun show. Arguably the best Spider-Man theme. I'll still say the original one from the 60s is the best because of the lyrics. But that guitar solo by Joe Perry for Spider-Man is so cool. And Christopher Daniel Barnes' voice is the Spider-Man voice. In my head, I usually think of his. Sometimes I try to do Tobey Maguire to vary it up. Because when I read comic books, depends on how I want to read it. If I'm just reading like something that I'm like Superman or some X-Men book, I'm just reading through it. But if I'm going like for I really want to enjoy it, I'll think of, you know, the voices and shit like that. I know some people do that too. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only weirdo out there. TMNT is great. I like the Spectacular Spider-Man more than the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. Yeah, X-Men's great as well. How is the Blu-ray of Batman the Animated Series? Great. It looks great. If you don't want to drop the money on it, the remastered episodes are on the DC streaming service, and you can see how they look if you have a good internet connection. But it is a fantastic box set that I strongly recommend people pick up. Again, thank you to our friend Stephen Morgan in the UK for sending it to World Class Bullshitters. Still waiting on the Juggernaut movie. How about the Kingpin's voice? It's great in the cartoon. Oh, that Roscoe guy. It is great. I think his voice is the best. I think D'Onofrio gives the best performance. But imagine that voice with D'Onofrio's performance. It'd be like, it's like when I play Arkham Knight. I get Kevin Conroy's voice and Michael Keaton's suit, and I'm happy. I get everything I want in a Batman. The best visual, the best audio, the best Batmobile. Cineverse653, thank you very much again. Spider-Man's dialogue cracks me up. The best Spider-Man pun, there are two. The first one I'll tell you is not that funny. Just when I was a kid, it made me laugh. So, In the 1980 Spider-Man cartoon, the solo one, Spider-Man is fighting Doctor Doom, and Doctor Doom has controlled everyone at the United Nations, and they've named him Master of the Universe. And he goes, "How dare you talk to me? I am Doctor Doom, Master of the Universe." And Spider-Man goes, "I don't care if you're the master of Melvin's supermarket, pal." And as a kid, that just would crack me up. I don't know what was so funny about it, but as an adult, I'm just like, it's kind of cheesy. But I look back and I really love it. I loved it. Now, from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, my favorite line of dialogue, and I think it might be my favorite Spider-Man line of dialogue ever, is he's fighting these guys, and he's hanging from a light pole, and he's like swinging, and he like fights them, and he ties them up. He goes, "I always wanted to hang with the homeboys," and then he swings away, and it's like the most 90s joke ever. But it was funny, and I still like it. So when you get to the hanging with the homeboys line, Cinevereth653, tell me what your thought was. It's hokey, it's cheesy, but it's everything that Spider-Man is. And this Spider-Man's internal dialogue and the monologues too, that is lost in new Spider-Man stuff. They had it somewhat in the Maguire movies to a degree, but him talking to the suit really takes away the essence of the character, the loneliness. And I miss that. The Batman the Animated Series social code or digital code for Vudu is now HDX instead of standard definition. Cool, I haven't downloaded it yet. So when I do, oh man, I'm going to have access to that anywhere. I'm going to love it. Gargoyles was great from Disney back then too. Don't understand how it was unpopular enough to keep going. Moonspot, it's funny that you brought that up because Gargoyles, Spectacular Spider-Man, and Young Justice, I believe, are all from the same guy, Greg Weisman. And all those shows are considered great, but all of them got canceled in their prime. The Spider-Man show, I believe, was due to an unfortunate business deal. Gargoyles may have been too serious or underperforming. And Young Justice, I think the official thing was they said too many girls watched it and not enough boys bought the toys. I know, it's dumb to say those things, but I believe that is their reasoning for it. Do you think Spider-Man / Parker in the movies should have a monologue in his head? Could it work? If you put him in an isolated location and he talks, kind of like in the video games and stuff, it would work. They just have to do that. You got to get people that actually like Spider-Man. Kevin Feige may love certain MCU elements, but he doesn't come off as a Spider-Man guy. Sam Raimi was a Spider-Man guy. Avi Arad, not so much. Laura Ziskin, not so much. Those people, only one person really got it. And once you took away the Sam Raimi element, you took away the actual Spider-Man element. It didn't feel like the character any longer. Why does Spider-Man not talk to Bruce the Gargoyle? Yeah, I would love that too. I remember those episodes. Let's see, they need a Spider-Man movie where he's mutated as a spider and needs the antidote. Oh, man, Spider? If you're a Spider-Man toy collector, they're going to release a 6-armed Spider-Man figure relatively soon. So be on the lookout for that. It comes in a Kingpin wave. So if you buy all the figures, you can build the Kingpin. I might actually just buy that just to build the Kingpin because he's awesome. Young Justice, is that a new West Coast rapper? Yeah, boy. He's Big Muff Daddy's protege. Is it Big Muff Daddy or Big Daddy Muff? I don't know. You guys can vote on that tonight. So it is 10:13, folks. With great power comes hot Aunt May. You damn right it does. So, folks, it is 10:13 in the morning. My web browser is still frozen. I'm still rocking it off of my phone. So, where's my Kraven the Hunter movie? I don't know. We may never get it. I don't think we should ever get a Kraven the Hunter film. Let's just let the movie not be made unless you're going to build up proper multiple movie story arc to where Kraven would kill himself and they added a level of depth and gravitas to the film. Let's see. Yeah, so you'll see me tonight. All right, folks. So, Young Justice was good, but I like Justice League more. Yeah, I like Justice League more than I like that, too. Young Justice is a fine show, but it's not my show. All right, folks. Well, I'll be back in just a few short hours with World Class Bullshitters episode 148. Tonight, we're being joined by Doomcock, so that's going to be a lot of fun, because fun and Doomcock, it's just going to go hand in hand. It's like Kibbles and Bits, but different. And if you know that movie quote, I'll be thoroughly impressed. So, folks, I'd like to thank everybody for hanging out with me this morning. It's been a great time. Do me a favor, if you could, just go click on any YouTube video. It doesn't even have to be ours. Just don't click off YouTube just yet. Go check out something else on YouTube, even if it's just a 10-second video. Help out the platform, help out us, because we're learning more about the algorithm. I got to cover Doctor Who. It's that bad. Well, I have a listener who's been hooking me up with a way to watch the new season, so I'm going to be watching it. I have the first episode ready to watch. I got a lot of stuff to do, but I will try to make some time for Doctor Who. What I really need to do is make my videos like Jeremy, where I clean up and then sit in front of something, because I can make 10 videos in a day. I got enough stuff to talk about, but sitting there and trying to do all the visuals, that's what takes 8 hours. And I don't mind doing it, but there's just not enough time in the day to do that. A comic book, I don't want to be late. I don't want to do, cause all these problems. And I continue to take care of myself. That's the one thing I refuse to compromise on, is letting myself go in terms of physicalness. So there's that. So every day at 2 o'clock, I stop what I'm doing. We can have a live stream. It can be great. At 2 o'clock, I'm stopping to go to the gym. So I just got to do it. My schedule's weird, but I got to make it happen. Shit, I wasn't even able to hang out with one of my oldest friends because I've been so busy. And this is his big vacation week, so I apologize. Yeah, Full House is cancer. I don't even know why we're talking about that, but hey, fuck that show. I used to like it as a kid, not anymore. So thank you to everybody who's been hanging out with us. I'll be back tonight with World Class Bullshitters 148, like I said. And remember, if you have recommendations, suggestions, anything you want us to cover, worldclassbs@mail.com, thebestmail.com. So I'm going to try to figure out how to get this to stop recording live, because we had the same problem over our Halloween stream.